Welcome to A Woman with Hollow Eyes. This is the dramatic actual play by the One Shot RPG Network that you, lots of you anyway, have made happen. Thank you so much. We're really excited to give you our first legitimate, honest to God's session of A Woman with Hollow Eyes. We hope you've joined us for development mode sessions and everything, but in case you haven't, we would love to introduce you to our cast of characters. All right, why don't we start with James?
I am James D'Amato, and I am playing Calvin Weaver. Calvin is somebody who's brand new to actuality, which is the real world, or the actual world. The world that we live in is a lie called Shadow, and Calvin was recently pulled, literally kicking and screaming from Shadow, to the actuality, which is this very surreal, bizarre world full of people that aren't quite people, and magic and mysteries, and he is already in way over his head. Calvin is a weaver, which is something that he's recently discovered, which is a type of spellcaster that pulls themes from major pieces of material of the world and weaves them together into spells. And Calvin is coming to grips with this new reality that he's been forced into, and just, making his new life in this weird place.
Lovely.
Hi everyone, I'm Kat Cool, and I am playing Kitty Hart. Kitty Hart grew up in actuality and then got shunted over to Shadow, which you all live in. Spent a good deal of time there, and then recently wound up back in actuality and is dealing with some family problems, let's just say. Kitty Hart, bit of a pill, bit of a flim-flam girl. I feel like that's about what we need on her. Oh, she's a goetic, which is a summoner in this realm. Is that it? Have I got it?
That's it.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
And why don't we go?
I'm Alan Linick. I am playing Wayne, who is a kind of noir-style character who is seeking to unravel a mystery of a person who has been kind of surgically removed from his memory, as best as he can tell, and is hoping that the only two people left that he can trust will help him kind of unravel some of that messy, tangly mystery yarn. Wayne is a maker, which is a kind of magic user who uses their power to enchant and create items, or I've been calling myself a gadget man. I don't know how accurate that is.
Just
think of him as Mr. Gadget.
I'm kind of like, and
Please,
since I'm a
Mr. Gadget
private
is
eye,
his
since I'm like a private eye, you could even call me Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to.
For sure.
So that's the deal.
That's lovely. And I'm your Game Master, Darcy Ross.
Yay.
Yay, thank you so much for joining us. So so we're going to open, I think we'll let, do you want to tell what happened in the last, when we last saw Kitty Hart?
Oh, when we
Because there was
last
sort
saw
of a
Kitty
big
Hart.
deal.
Yeah.
There were two big deals, so if we could briefly catch everyone up to speed.
Kitty Hart decided when she woke up last session that she was going to try to get her family to let her move back into the main estate. She's been living above her family's bar, which isn't nice. And the main reason that they haven't let her move back into the familial home is because she has all of these very obvious debts, which happens when you're a goetic. When you're not a great goetic. So she decided to go and deal with this very obvious one that belonged to this demon called the Hunger. And there was this party in town where the Hunger was going to be, so she went to try to deal with that. Along the way, ran into this gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Literally ran in.
Literally, yes.
I had some part in that.
Smacked into him.
In the sound hole, which was very awkward and silent.
That sound hole.
A menace.
It's been getting worse.
And we showed up at this party, ran into the Hunger. I confronted the Hunger, asked him who he had transferred my debt, just transferred it out of his possession to someone else's, and I realized that debt had come into the possession of
the original Kitty Hart,
yeah,
your relative, who'd been long dead.
long dead.
And was so that's what we know. That's sort of where we closed off from you, that sort of realization.
Yeah.
And then Wayne had a realization of his own.
Yes. Wayne, while doing some digging, has realized that there might be some information key to this mystery of his that can only be accessed through dreams, and as a result has been trying to find a way to get to the blue sun, which is the one where all dreams are born and housed, and has met a giant centipede creature who
Gentleman.
gave me, truly a gentleman, gave me real Alice in Wonderland vibes, but has given me at least an opportunity to pursue travel to the blue sun, which is kind of a big old deal.
Perfect.
So that's where Wayne is at right now.
All right. Before we open in on the first scene with these fabulous folks, we want to talk about the bit scheme. In case you wanted to help us construct this narrative, we're going to test out a few little schemes today. So for 300 bits, we're going to be placing Sooth deck cards on this Path of Suns, and it influences the way magic works, and it influences all sorts of things. And you can force me to draw a new Sooth deck card, especially if the Sooth deck card is doing bad things to these guys. You may want to help them.
Or too good to us.
Or too good. It's very true. So that's for 300 bits, and for 100, you can add one to their venture. So if they're trying something really hard and you want to help them succeed, you can donate 100 bits and tell us who it's for. And then
we will point out the maximum that we can
Yes.
change things is just one space for that. So it's sort of a quick, whoever's quickest on the draw gets it on that.
Exactly. And for subs, new subs, you can grant a sortilege die, which basically they get to roll 2 dice for something. It's magic helping them. And so that's for new subs, which I think Rourke newly subbed. So Rourke, tell us who you want to give that sortilege die to. So keep us informed, and let's open on these lovely people. So you two are together talking about whatever it is you two talk about. Are you at your, your family's bar, or where is it you sort of go to sort of process and think about your next move?
How is this immediately after that last night?
I think it might be like the next day, or it could be immediately after if you think you would.
Sure, I think it's the next day, and I am not permitted time off.
Oh.
So I'm currently cleaning starling poop
Yep.
off of an awning. And Calvin is walking along under me as I scrub.
It takes a lot of water, right?
Yeah, quite a lot of water. And the hose keeps getting caught. And he very helpfully he's trying to be helpful.
Yeah, Calvin is right now prattling on about starlings and stars and how cool it is that you get to live in a neighborhood where the stars just hang out during the day. That's amazing.
And Kitty keeps trying to refocus back on this problem of this ghost and the steps that they're going to need to take to deal with the problem, which are like finding out the level of the ghost, seeing if anywhere in my family's records we have the true name of the original Kitty Hart. These steps that a goetic would take to deal with an entity like this.
Excellent. And as you're having this chat, you see that rain cloud that seems to follow. It seems to latch on to people who are feeling certain emotions and follow them around this whole district. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you see it like peeking over the top of buildings because it's like high up enough, and the cloud is making a beeline through the alleyways towards where you're cleaning at.
Oh, fantastic!
And as it rounds the corner, you can see it's just dumping rain on Wayne. and he's just sopping wet. Like everything's like
Does he have a hat
soaking.
or is he just?
No, it's just
lets it wash
rain.
over?
Just rain. He's got his maker's glasses on that have like a couple of different lenses that come on and off. Everything's just soaked, and he's just kind of like grumbling to himself as he like comes around the corner. And he looks up and sees you scrubbing, and he just says, "Hey,
Sir, 10% off inside. If you want to go inside the bar, here's a 10% off coupon.
no,
Oh my God.
Calvin?
Wayne?
What?
Wayne, Wayne?
What are you doing? What are you doing here?"
I mean, I would almost ask you the same question,
Calvin?
but
Calvin, get him inside. He's got.
okay.
Can you get
okay.
him inside?
Hey, we're gonna go inside. We're gonna go inside real
Yeah,
quick.
I'd like that.
Like Calvin hurries behind Wayne and just sort of like ushers him in the door.
Which
We
means-
go inside.
That the cloud gets stuck outside, and all the patrons are trapped inside of the bar.
This is your only time off.
Yes.
This is sort of what gives you your break, is if you can make this happen.
Yes!
Because it's also got to be dealing with some of the starling poop too.
Yes! A good thing was accomplished.
Excellent. So you go into the bar. What does it look like when you first enter? So is this the casino part?
Yeah. I think so. It's a really nice bar. It's like it's very like cheersy.
Yeah.
And
Neighborhood.
it's all like wood and it's always got like the air is always dusty. And no matter what's going on outside, it always has like a warm golden light quality.
Ooh.
And I don't know, what time of day is it? No, it's morning. So there aren't too many people gambling or anything. Most everyone is
Well, if it's morning, the starlings are starting to like come back down to roost.
and fighting me.
They're like diving at you now.
I'm getting swooped. So people are like eating breakfast and stuff.
And Moxie's there, sort of taking a wet rag and polishing nicely, just giving that long wooden bar a great sheen. Moxie is the Muppet bartender of this bar.
Yeah.
All right, so you slide into a booth, or where do you take him?
I think, I like just very casually. I don't know if this is a sort of place where you have to be seated. I had not bothered to pay attention to that. I just like slide Wayne and I into an open table, like the nearest open table that there is. Oh my God. It shouldn't surprise me that you're here because when I was getting pulled from the real world, from whatever.
Shadow?
The shadow. When I was getting pulled from the shadow, you were on the phone talking to a customer.
No, I was here.
I know, but I don't, magic or visions or something like that. But
You're a Vizsla?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, I just had that explained to me very recently. I am a weaver. And
You're a weaver.
yes, I take like different parts of reality and I mush them together. I don't quite have that part figured out yet, but I am a weaver. I've been assured very much that I am a weaver by the head of my guild, and he is just a super kind fellow. And I was afraid that you would be an octopus or something.
No.
Everyone here is like some sort of octopus or factory. Or smokestack. I don't know. There are a lot of different. It's very confusing.
So you have never been to the actuality before.
Well, I was told by the head of my guild that I have. And I went into Shadow, and now I'm out of Shadow. But I do not remember anything about this place. And like I had to rent a new place to live because I don't know if I live anywhere, and I guess like I need to start finding a job, even though I'm in the Weavers Guild. I don't know if that pays money. Is there money here?
Marimba, one of the other employees of this bar, pulls you aside, it's their shift, and asks you, have you seen the angel? They're always in here by this time. You see a couple worried looks of the few people on call right now.
No.
All All right. Well, let me know, of course. You know,
Sure,
I
yeah.
have his table today.
Cool. I'll let you know. She like ducks under a thing and she gets swooped one last time, and and cleans some of the brilliance off of her
Yeah.
shoes, and comes into the back of the bar, and notices that they're in a section where they should not be seated, and starts making her way over to these two.
Oh, it's Kitty! Kitty, come
Yeah,
here!
Wait. How do you know Kitty?
Well, I just ran into her. But she also seems very familiar, and I'm pretty sure that I knew her or saw her in Shadow or something like that. But she's the nicest. Like, you're gonna love her.
I know her already.
Oh, that's great! Kitty! Wayne, this is Wayne! Your friend! Everybody's friends!
Wayne.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Uh-huh.
Hey.
Yeah. I'd hug you, but I'm all wet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And also you're
yeah,
covered in
yeah.
In radiant
Start.
light. Yes. Great. I'm so happy. How long have you been out of the real world? Out of Shadow?
That's not the real world. It isn't.
I mean,
I know it felt real, but it just is not.
this place feels like so many dreams.
We're in a section we shouldn't be seated in.
Oh God.
That's okay.
Is it?
Because that means no one else is going to come over here, right?
Wayne, this is my job.
Well, fair.
Have you seen Wayne since coming back to actuality? So you're childhood friends from before the war, and now you look like you're this beautiful crystalline sort of red.
Yeah, I'm a
but
glass person. What
glass.
do you look like now?
I just look like I look
Grown
like
up.
a beat up.
Like a grown-up version of Wayne.
Yeah, I look like Big Wayne.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look like I look like Kitty Hart, but I'm like made of glass now, and like have like molten hair instead of like my red hair as a kid.
Can I get us a drink?
We can just go to the bar.
Can I get us a drink?
Sure.
Okay, I'll be right back. And I get up and I mosey over towards the bar.
How the heck do you know Wayne?
I knew Wayne in Shadow. He was a co-worker. We used to work at a call center together.
A call center?
Do you know what a call center is?
I know what a call
Okay.
center is.
I don't know. There are a lot of people who have been snakes for like 300 years. I met a guy yesterday. Snake. 300 years.
Okay. It's weird that you know Wayne. Wayne and I used to be like friends when we were like little kids and stuff.
That's great.
Why is that great?
How is that anything but great? You used to be friends as kids and now you're here together.
Sure, okay. It's weird. It's weird, Calvin, that you
You're-
know both of us. That's weird.
Okay, fine, whatever.
I'm going to introduce a GM shift, and I'm going to award one despair
Ooh.
to my friend here.
Yay!
Uh,
I feel
so
it. I
when
feel
you, when
despairing.
you do, when you go up to get the drinks, you start to your senses of I won't say paranoia, your hyper awareness and your keen sense of when things aren't right really starts to flare up. What happens? What do you see or what do you feel? Or is it totally not attributable to anything? But you have the need to get the three of you out of there. You want to get your point across, but you need to go somewhere else.
I'm just like looking around this area, and I have been trying to shake off like how bizarre and uncomfortable this coincidence is since
Yeah.
it started happening, and I'm just hitting a point now. Like as I walk up towards the bar, like Moxie like looks up, and we make eye contact, and I'm just like. And I like read something very small in that Muppety
Yeah.
face, and
Those
then
big,
and
like
I just,
bobbly
like-
His
foam
eyes
eyes.
are deep, you know?
I just like walk like I subtly shift direction and just walk right past the bar and towards the restrooms?
Sure.
Where I stand for like a second and I take a deep breath and then I turn around and beeline right back to the table. And I don't even sit back down. I just am standing over the table and I just like, let's
What's the matter?
You're coming too quiet.
Yes.
Okay. Calvin gets up and just
Calvin
follows
looks
them.
too excited about this.
Yeah.
You have two people slinking.
Yep. And Calvin. I mean, it's also probably the first time I've been in this bar. I'm seeing a lot of interesting people over at very elaborate gambling tables, probably playing games, casino games that make no earthly sense. They're games with orbs of cards that people are shifting around.
Yeah, and the currency people use are crystal and glass orbs, and so you see them pulling these strange currencies out, and there's, of course, even stranger currencies here because the really high rollers use mage coins, and so you're seeing a whole lot of things for the first time.
It's like a whole casino full of David Blaine.
So you find yourselves in the alley or something?
Yeah, where are we headed?
I want to take them somewhere where it feels like there's nobody around.
So,
I want to take them to my house,
yeah,
ideally.
House is great.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, let's get to your house. So we take
Wayne,
one of the,
you
the
ever-
shortcuts there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey,
Cool.
Calvin, you ever seen the inside of a sphere house?
No.
Do you want to?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
You 100% know how to motivate Calvin
Yeah.
from Shadow. Excellent.
So we show up at my house. I close the door and I peek. I do classic peek through the blinders situation.
Your neighbor, who is a private eye with a ghost partner or
Yeah.
friend, sort of waves at the bunch of you as you enter. Excellent. So what does your house look like? So the whole house is a sphere, and it's got some rooms inside?
It's a sphere on the outside and on the inside, but all of the furniture and stuff wraps all the way around it. So you can walk up the side of the sphere, and it's basically got an internal gravity that sticks everything.
So the
to
windows, the
insides.
blinds are really on the floor.
Right.
So you peek through the floor and then...
I need you guys to come on a trip with me. Actually, I really need you to come on a trip with me. I'm really glad you're here.
Thank you.
Wayne.
I'm going to the Blue Sun.
Oh. I'm having a problem.
There are more
It's
suns?
wonderful that you're here, Calvin.
It's really,
you.
truly great.
I'm having a problem right now with a debt with my family. One of the original Kitty Heart has a sizable portion of my go at it debt, and I need to solve that. A ghost. So I'm trying to figure out what level she is. As a summoned spirit situation.
Right.
So I could use help with that. I will absolutely. I see your problem. I see what's going on now.
You do?
Well, no, I see that you are having a big problem, and I'm having a big problem, and it is very odd that we have found each other.
Yes, and that we have another person
Right?
who knows us both.
Guys, gonna be honest, I've got nothing to do except I was told by Liberté that I had to figure out how my powers worked, and this sounds like a great opportunity to do that.
Great. Let's settle your debt.
I'm drawing the first Sooth card of the night, Weeping Priest. It is an Apprentice card, and if you give me a minute, I'll know what that means even. It's pretty great. So you all have hearts.
Okay.
So empath, stoic, gallant,
Oh,
ardent,
yeah,
things like that. And so this is actually enhancing the Notions family, which is... so one of you should have your... So on that, I will find out which one it is of you. Okay, so, but the Weeping Priest, okay. Sorry. I don't remember which heart it is. I will look it up later. Okay.
Can I get you guys a coffee or something?
I would love a coffee.
Just a regular, shadow coffee?
Is there other
Oh,
kinds
yeah.
of...
There's lots of.
Oh,
I'll
there's
take
lots.
whatever.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks, though. Actually.
Is it a living room, or what does this place look like?
Give anything for a hangover?
Yeah. I
There
make...
are hangovers here?
Did you not You were drinking a lot last night.
Oh, I figured it didn't matter. It's magic.
Calvin, what are you? I don't know what he is.
I'm a weaver.
Maybe he weaved it away.
I mean, I don't know. I feel great. And you said you're in debt?
Yeah, did you not get what last night was about?
I mean, I remember that we had to go to the party because you had to meet up with somebody. I did not know, I don't think I remember that you're in a debt. There's debt here?
Oh gosh, buddy.
Why? Why? There's magic. You can just make things.
Yeah.
Economies still exist. Just because there's magic doesn't mean that there isn't. How did you think things worked? You saw that there was money.
I mean, I know that people just like vomit out jewels occasionally. Yeah.
Jewels aren't. It's different.
People traded more than money.
Why do you need to go to the Blue Sun?
I think there might be some information I need trapped in a dream that I can't quite put the pieces together on. So I want to see it firsthand.
Sure. What
Cool.
sort? Why are you missing information?
Okay.
Wayne's doing the thing. Oh,
What's the thing?
well, whenever you didn't want to say something, like back in shadow,
Yeah,
you
I did this.
made a face. He's gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna lie. You're gonna withhold truth.
You know what? To spite you, I'm not gonna do that. I take out my little blue ball and I start squeezing it, and I say, "Okay, I think I've had something removed, and I feel comfortable telling you that because we're
of
us,
course.
and you couldn't have possibly been here when it happened. So
Probably
there's no
not.
way you were involved.
Most likely not.
Someone took a memory from me.
Oh,
A lot of them.
that's horrible.
Maybe, and maybe a person,
Sure. A person.
and
Like
maybe,
a kidnapping?
maybe.
Are there police?
Mm,
There are debts, but no police?
There's the thaw, but they don't tend to step in on minor disputes like this. That's more like you've done something against the city. And they're notoriously, yeah.
Yeah.
so I give you. It's like a.
A thing.
It's like a tube of smoke that's designed to be popped and inhaled, and I give Calvin an anti-coffee.
It does that like yeah, so he'll take a sip of it and like immediately sort of mellow out.
Oh.
Better?
Yeah.
Was that drugs?
Yes.
Whoa.
What?
I mean, I guess alcohol does things. Does drugs, do they do things here?
Fix the alcohol.
Oh, so like aspirin, sort of.
I
I got it.
Okay. I don't think you got it.
Are you a square, Calvin?
Is that a thing? A magic thing?
I thought you were an artist.
I mean, yes, I was an artist.
Don't artists do drugs?
I
Yeah,
gotta
but
be.
that was like a sniff drug.
Yeah.
It's like that.
You're shockingly similar to the shadow version of you.
I am the shadow version of me. I was just in shadow. How could it be different?
Because that was never you. You were just hiding in that.
Or I hid in that and I'm back and I was the same.
Fair.
So, so all of you have hearts, and you have associated families. So I have them up now. So this is actually the Apprentice. It is going to be a -1 to all of your actions.
Great.
It's part of your heart. Meanings are about betrayal and things like that. Very, very lovely things. So things are looking pretty dire for you. You've brought these people to your home. You were given a medallion from the being in that place you went to, and along with the knowledge that you would need companions to get to the Blue Sun.
Mm-hmm.
So have you spent any, do you want to maybe make a roll for me to see if you've like looked into what that medallion does.
Yeah, I'm sure I
Let's see
tried
what
to like
information
reverse
you-
engineer it.
Oh, certainly. Yes.
So I don't know. Probably
5 subs too.
Wow, 5
Boy.
subs.
5 subs.
Have you guys been? I don't think they've been allocating them, as far as I could tell. I was waiting.
Not yet.
Okay, I'm going to just start distributing them. So Calvin got one for sure,
I took
and then there were 4 more. So let's give
Joe, do you need a pencil?
2 and 2.
2
Cool.
and 2?
Thank you.
So those
Yeah.
go.
So those will go in
Into
your
sortilege?
sortilege. Yeah, which is really powerful. So
Thank
nicely
you.
done.
It's 5 actually on top of that one.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Then Calvin gets another one. Nicely
Ooh,
done. Okay, so
red.
let's make some freaking rolls.
So I'm rolling on probably intellect here, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's going to be an intellect-based action if you want to try harder at it. I'm not going to tell you the level, but what I will say is that your skill in identifying strange materials from being a maker is definitely going to apply.
Great.
So what you're going to say to me when you sort of look at all your stuff and figure out which spells you're casting, you're going to tell me your venture, and that's what you're applying to the difficulty. So your venture is 2 if you're spending one of the intellect.
Great, then I will.
Okay, cool. Do you also want to spend a sortilege die since you've got those? Did you use magic to sort of figure out the little? Did you
Probably.
investigate it with magic?
Yeah, I imagine that I did.
Cool. You throw a sortilege die in there.
So now what happens?
So now you roll
this?
those 2.
I got a 6 and a 1.
A 6 and a 1. Okay. So your 6 will just make it.
Oh, sweet.
So what you learned about this medallion is.
We just got a call for a new card.
Ooh, yay! Oh, that's
Ooh.
very nice. And that's actually good because you wouldn't have gotten it with that -1, which I had forgotten to apply.
Thank you.
That is
Card
very
Phil of
helpful.
Canada.
I would also
Thank
like
you.
to know how the
Also
rolls
100
work.
from Jordan as well.
Oh, awesome! And so the 100 is
To lower the.
to lower the venture. Cool. So you do really well. And the new card is Hunter. It is in the Notions family, which has to do with. I will get faster at this later on. So that is going to enhance Calvin.
These cards.
So Calvin,
Thank you.
yeah, very good. So that is an adept. Oh, I play another card. Very helpful. Cat.
Yes.
Oh,
No, not me.
Super cool. So it's going to bring us back to the Weeping Priest. We've made a loop.
Oh, wow,
no.
all right.
but lowering the difficulty probably made him just barely make it, right?
Exactly. So you still lowered the difficulty, and so you got it. Good work. So what you learned about this medallion, do you like break things open when you try to figure them out? Do you sort of just send little currents of magic in? How do you tinker? And
Yeah.
You've got these cool goggles, right?
Yeah, I think they let me like on an X-ray level or
Yeah.
kind of like how the Predator can switch.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
views.
Oh, yeah.
I can sort of do that and try to like chart different energies that are coming off of it and try to figure out what things like that would do. I imagine I also put it in between 2 of those like little electrical forceps and like zap
Yeah.
it with different juices to see what
Nice.
happens.
Lovely.
But I'm not trying to break it apart.
Okay.
I think I'd be afraid that if I took it apart, I wouldn't be able to rebuild it.
Excellent. So when you were able to you tuned these different currents of sort of etheric energy, you kind of saw glowing out at you. Even though it's really smooth and polished on the outside, there was a symbol inside. And it wasn't immediately obvious to you what it was, and you've been looking around for it, but you'd have to do some more research to figure out what that symbol is. But at least has some very clear, complex. It almost looks like there's some other things you've seen that make you think it's kind of like a cartouche or some other kind of identifier, like this is maybe the name of a person or some identifying marker like that.
Great. Then I'd probably show that to you since I'm explaining why I need to go to the blue sun. I'd say, have you ever seen this symbol before?
No, but let me do a thing. I'm going to
Ooh.
use Clarity Brings Understanding to All. You understand an object that you touch. You
Wow.
know its level, its function or purpose, and how to use it properly. If it is magical, you know the magical properties, including any side effects and how to activate them.
Well, damn.
Okay, so this is the Amulet of Role, the left-handed god. This is a person in another district called the Confederacy of Cloisters, and they're really well known for having this really cool library that all has to do with the Nightside Path. So the Path of Suns is the path through which magic flows, and how there's this cycle of magic going from the indigo sun where we are down to the next sun and so on. But it also weaves, if we have this two-dimensional thing, it weaves back. So first, if you're going down the light side of the path, you go this way, and then you go reverse on the night side. And the night side of the path is associated with people who tend to summon more demons. It has this aura of danger and more darkness to it than the other path, but you're probably pretty familiar with it since you've summoned demons, right? You've done deals with demons.
Yeah.
So this is actually, you actually know a lot about that library, but the fact that it has like roles that that god's own symbol on it suggests that it's more than just the library card to that library. There's something important about its connection to role. You're not but you had played that super cool incantation, so you actually do know what it functions as. It's basically a big fancy key, and if you can get into some kind of vault or other place where it will unlock a chamber that is
cool.
usually kept away from the riffraff.
What's it called? The Amulet of...
Role,
Role.
R-H-O-L, the left-handed god.
Okay. Yeah, you have yourself like a library key from a dark side path. From a what?
What does it open?
Well, I don't know, but probably like a room in the library, or like a maybe a restricted section.
Where'd you get it?
It's this is.
You just got it at the library?
This has to do with role. Like the god role.
Yeah, the left-handed god.
Yeah. It has to do with.
Is it his domain just being left-handed?
No. What? Calvin.
I don't know. You called him the left-handed god. Like that's a title. Thor is the god of thunder. He controls thunder.
Right, but the god of what? Like left hands?
There's a lot to this place. There's a lot is all I'm saying.
How'd you get it? And anyway, I think if you take this somewhere, it's gonna let you in somewhere. Probably if you're missing information.
I might have paid some prices in blood.
Well, I mean,
this.
sure, that happens. That's what happens to you. And as you look, you see that like a lot of her is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe it'll just take you to the Blue Sun, right? That's where you need to go.
Probably
I mean,
not.
that'd be ideal.
I mean, it's probably a little more specific than that.
Okay.
Another thing you would know about the library, because you're a goetic, is that it's actually one of the more well-guarded libraries even to begin with, and you can't actually enter. It's guarded by a magic mist. You can't actually enter without the right key. You're not sure if this thing will actually gain you entrance.
Right.
It might supersede the sort of barrier, but you will definitely be accosted by the guardians of the library once you get in there. So I don't know if there's anything you want to look into. And further, something that you would know, Kitty, for sure, is that like the Blue Sun is for sure has information on the original Kitty Heart. So there are dreams of the original Kitty Heart, either of them or by them, which might be really insightful. Even ghosts dream, and further dreams from when they were alive. And Calvin, I don't know that this is something you would have picked up, but something you would know for Calvin is that both of you, that if Calvin thinks that he's had a life before this, there might be remnants of that in the Blue Sun if you were trying to find out more about your past.
I definitely don't know that.
You definitely don't. But you're excited because a new sun.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're gonna need to get into the library in the first place, which is difficult.
Right.
I think this is to something in the library, which is either to something with your mission. But I mean, I could use being in there. That's gonna be helpful to my thing.
Okay. So you're in.
I'm in.
I'm gonna change really fast because I'm still all wet.
Great.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I walk up the side of the wall until I'm like at like a 2 o'clock position from you guys, and I just start rummaging around in like an old armoire and pulling out clothes and changing stuff around.
Yep.
You're a weaver?
Yes.
What can you do?
What can't I do?
What can you do?
You want to see something right now?
No.
I want to see something right now,
You say as you walk back down.
just from where I'm at.
Oh, cool,
Like-
cool.
So Calvin, like,
Yeah.
excitedly, okay. He breathes in and breathes out. And as he's breathing out, he wraps his hand around the air, and in sort of a very flowing, fluid motion, he grabs a string of grace from the air. And then he takes out the smartphone that he still has, because it's what he used last time, and like it's on, and the light projects from the screen there, and he's going to take from that the movement of the light of the thunder powering the phone, and he is going to weave together grace and movement. And that, I think, like he takes that and he starts wrapping it around himself, and he's going to turn into a bunch of like Miyazaki style paper birds,
Sure.
that just sort of like flow and flap about the room and the house, like sort of disrupting things and whatnot, because I also, for these spells, cannot include anything subtle, stealthy, or gentle.
Cool. So there's a level of difficulty.
Yes.
Do you have an idea about what that might be? So this is mostly for show, right?
Yeah, this is mostly for show. I don't think I'm doing anything like controlling a creature's mind. Flight is level 5. And this is,
But that's of a creature. That's you're showing. Are you flying around or?
I've turned into a bunch of paper birds.
Lovely. So because Punquility had drawn you a new card, it was the most worthwhile card draw. So we drew the Revolutionary. It is the sovereign of secrets. So you get +2, but everybody gets +1 on their next action.
Okay.
So
And one to help Kelvin.
oh my
cast.
gosh. Okay.
Cool.
So we already have we've lowered the difficulty. So we already have 2 venture for you. Do you want to spend any? So this is a level 5 task. Do you want to spend any bene from your sorcery to try harder?
For my sorcery, what do I need to hit? Do I need to hit 5?
5. Now you only need to hit a 3.
Okay.
Because your venture's 2. Or you could blow
I'll
one of
just-
those
I'll just-
sortilege and.
I'll just roll it,
Yeah.
because Calvin has no idea how hard the things
That's
he's
a very
doing
good
are.
point.
He just does them. And I roll a 4. So.
Okay.
Just make it.
Thank you guys. Awesome. So you fly. You like sprout wings and you.
So no, I
Yeah.
turn into hundreds of paper birds,
Oh, lovely. Yes,
and
that's
they flow through this place like a strong, raucous wind. Things on shelves are rattling. He's winding around the house, and then he stops gracefully in the position that he started in, and just like a rush of paper flaps around him and disappears as it touches the floor.
Wow.
A weaver!
Okay. Well,
I really liked it.
my question was going to be, can you like turn us invisible or something?
Yes. Yes, yes.
I was gonna ask if you could do any quiet weaves.
No.
Really? Straight
Not
up no?
at all. No. So all of the things that I have tried so far, because I was practicing in my apartment that I rented, and
You got an apartment?
I got an apartment.
You're off the street?
I'm off the street.
Where are you living?
I'm living, oh God, my landlord's really nice. I'm living above this like sausage stand. It's just like this building. It's on my street. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I was doing weaves, like just practicing like different things.
Sure.
And it just got raucous and loud. And my landlord knocked on the door, and he didn't say anything, but he looked pretty upset.
Huh.
Something you would know is that you can summon or attempt to convince various entities to help you with things. So, even though he might be really overt, you can probably have a demon or an angel or a ghost you might be able to persuade to help sort of hide you or
Cool.
assist with if you're trying to be sneaky.
To get us in all
So
stealthy style.
your summoning is very flexible too.
Cool, yeah.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah, all right, then I guess.
Are you able to go now?
Well, yeah, but, where is it? That's do we know? Because we can just walk to where it is, like, here? Question mark?
So you guys are in Fartown, which is
Yeah.
a neighborhood of sort of a district of Saturnine, and you would have to. It's sort of kind of a half world of its own because
Yeah.
they wanted to isolate you horrible Vizsla who keep blowing stuff up away from the rest of the poor humans of Saturnine and Elderbrin and things. So you would have to get out of Fartown and into this other district, the Confederacy of Cloisters.
Okay.
So one of those platforms that moves the rest of the world around you are pretty accessible.
Cool.
They cost a little bit, but they're usually worth it.
Yeah.
You could also try to convince one of your summonings to drag you there. They can help with travel.
Well, yeah, since you pulled me off my shift and I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for that, I would prefer that we handle this today.
Great. Calvin?
I got nothing to do. This sounds great.
Okay. Why don't we take the platform?
Yeah, I think we should take the platform.
You guys don't want to take a cab? Oh, that's right.
Never take the cab.
Did you take the cab?
No, my landlord does.
How was it? Wait, your landlord
Your
takes the cab?
landlord takes the cab?
Every single day. I explained this to you last night.
I thought... No, you said that sausage salesman...
That's my landlord.
He takes the cab every day.
Every day.
How?
By hailing it.
No. This is not like a shadow cab where you get in and it stinks and you pay the money and then you get out. It's not like that.
Okay, well, he every morning will, like, after standing at the sausage stand for like an indeterminate amount of time, will, like, on his lunch, hail the cab stops, goes away, and then he comes back eventually.
What's the reality of the cab for poor Calvin here?
Calvin, the cab costs whatever you are able to pay.
Which is what a cab
Not
should...
money. Just whatever you are able.
And it takes you...
Where you need to go. You don't get in and tell it where to take you. There's no fare counter.
Are you sure that's right?
Positive. Calvin,
Are you sure you're right?
Yes, I watch him do it all the time.
maybe you shouldn't be living there?
Signed a lease.
You said...
It was very generous lease.
It costs nothing, right?
Cost nothing.
Why does it cost nothing?
I don't know.
Calvin, don't sign things here.
Do you have a copy of the contract?
Yeah, I've got a copy of my lease. It's back in my apartment.
Okay. Can we stop by Calvin's on
Yeah,
the way?
let's stop by Calvin's apartment. I got to do a thing to get us... I mean, do you have enough money? I don't have a lot of money.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Yeah, let's stop by Calvin's apartment and then take a lift to the... Yeah, let's go.
So you hightail it to Calvin's apartment. What is this? So there's like
How much does the platform cost?
it costs 30 crystal orbs each.
Okay.
It's a lot of money.
Jiminy Christmas.
It's specifically like it's the fastest way. So there's slower ways, but it sounds like you guys want to
Yeah, we
get
wanna
there as fast as possible.
I misvalued how much wealth I had, but
It's
I
all
still
right.
got this. I still got it.
I could
actually
just
think
weave
30
us a...
Sorry, it should be 30 for the three of you.
Okay.
That's like because a crystal orb is like $10. So that would be way too much.
That's a
so.
lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could just weave us... We could fly on the wind, probably.
Loudly?
I mean, yeah, but if we go up high, it's not going to be that loud.
I don't. Well, fair.
I'd kind of like the time to review Calvin's contract.
Yeah. Well, you won't have time on the platform because it's very quick.
It's very quick?
But you could have time in this other district if you don't want to hang around his strangely free, sausage-smelling apartment.
No. Scary. Spooky.
And it's like furnished, isn't it? Or-
Yeah, it's furnished. It's very spare. It's like very dark wood construction, looks very old.
Are there
and,
birds in it?
Uh,
Or are those mostly gone by now?
so birds? Oh, yeah.
Undergarments had been turning into birds for a
Oh,
while.
yes. No, my shadow clothing is birds and is terrorizing this neighborhood. And
What's with you and birds?
my clothing's birds. My clothing's birds.
Well,
Wait,
his
can you
golems.
only do bird weaves?
No.
Okay.
I can do non-bird weaves. But my clothing has been turning into birds. My shadow clothing. I got this from Liberté. So,
Do you need to borrow some clothes?
yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
we'll do that later.
Great.
Excellent. So you pick up the contract. You're sort of reading it on the way to the lift.
I really want to point out, when you are silent here, you think you can hear organ music. As soon as you think to look for it, you can't, but you do
There's
hear
a
it when you're
susurration
not.
of organ
yeah.
music.
Lots of Vizsla houses have quirks, but this one just adds to the unsettling nature of everything about poor Calvin's situation.
Have you seen your landlord's place?
Downstairs, no. I mean, I've seen the shop front, which he does not use. He uses that stand.
I'm going to use cryptesthesia,
Ooh!
and I'm going to press my. I'm going to just 1 second, and I make a circle, rub a circle onto the floor of Calvin's floor, and I just press my forehead down onto
Cool,
it, and I
cool.
can see through the floor.
Whoa.
I draw the next card, Ghostly Presence. It is enhancing mysteries, which none of you are, so you're okay. But it's a creepy ghost thing.
Makes sense?
Yeah, so this is an incantation you're casting, or is it a spell?
It is a spell, and it costs both of my sorcery points.
Okay, all right. So can I see it?
Yeah.
Just so I see. Yeah.
So I see through it as if I'm directly on the other side of it.
And which wall are you doing this to?
You live above him, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna bird's eye it through the
Okay.
floor.
It
that-
has, yeah, it's good. So does it give you a +1 die? Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
So it's not very difficult, but this place is very gently, sort of standard magically warded for prying jerk Vizsla like yourself.
Great.
So you get a venture of 2 because of the spell, but it's going to be a level 4 difficulty.
So just roll them.
So you get an extra die because of your
Sweet.
spell, and so you want to hit a 2 or higher because of your thing.
Which I do.
Oh my gosh, 2
I got
nines.
a 9 and a 9.
Dang. Okay,
Dang.
so you do great. All right.
And then when I
So you,
look through this floor, I'm gonna start keeping my forehead pressed to the floor. I'm gonna scooch around if possible, so I can kind of see the
love
whole
that.
thing.
Oh yeah, that's great. Someone wants a new
Oh,
card.
okay.
Excellent.
Wasn't exciting enough.
Let's see. What are you? The Alchemist, an adept. So it's going to help you guys out, and it is of secrets, which is
That's me.
that's Wayne. So +2 to Wayne. Lovely.
Hooray.
Okay, cool. So I'm not going to call for any more rolls. You
Thank
see
you.
a lot of stuff in this Daniel McPherson's house, right? And so he's sort of got the house in the back, his own living quarters in the back, and the storefront that's unused in front.
Yeah.
Cool. So what you see as
It's got a
you're
for rent sign in that storefront.
Oh, excellent. So the front store room looks exactly like it looked from the outside. It's not too interesting. It's really dusty in there. But as you move back to those other rooms, you're seeing things through a sort of fisheye view. It's as though the quarters below are larger than they should be. So they're sort of more expanded in space than your front, your top floor is. And so what you're seeing are this just labyrinth of rooms, just rooms and rooms and rooms, really gorgeously warmly lit, plush red, sofas, and you're just kind of getting flashes of them as you scan through what must be hundreds of rooms. You're not quite sure what that means, and it's really hard to focus in on one because they're all on the edges. What are you looking for specifically? Are you trying to...
I'm just looking. Is there anything that indicates either that this person is maybe not human, or of a particular power level or affiliation?
Yeah.
I guess if I could find you know, what are they a maker? What are they?
Yeah.
Do they have any like factional associations,
cool.
stuff like that?
Yeah, the kinds of magic they use, things like that.
Right.
So one thing you find as you're casting through here, you find a whole bunch of rooms that look like they should be for hosting, but you've never seen anyone go in here except Daniel McPherson. You see kind of like what seems to be like a couple of guest bedrooms, like a little guest suite, and there's like discarded like evening gowns and like men's clothing that you've never seen him wear.
Yeah.
It looks like this is this mansion after a party, right? Where a bunch of people have passed out and it's the morning. And so that's all very curious. And then you start getting into what seems to be like a large kitchen area, and there's a whole row, 7 really stock still what seem to be 3 demons and 4 angels.
Mm-hmm.
They look like very characteristic demons and angels. A lot of times it's hard to tell what's what, but these are the 3 demons are there's sort of a squat one, and there's ones with these big tusks that are sort of all red, and they look like textbook red sun demons that you get taught about early on as a Vizsla. And the 4 angels are, there's one that's big fluffy wings. There's one that's all metallic and it doesn't even look that much humanoid. It looks more like a vaguely human shape, like sort of almost stick figure-like, and then lots of weird metal bars that seem to be forming its wings.
Cool.
And then there's 2 more angels, but what's really creeping you out is how still and almost frozen they seem. Even when you conjure beings or make an agreement with them, they still move of their own volition.
Mm-hmm.
These seem totally frozen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I back
unsettling.
out. I back out.
And it's in this sort of disused kitchen. So you're not, it's almost like, the sense you got, because you rolled really well, is that his personal quarters, like where his most sacred spaces, you can't get at just by viewing below here.
Got it.
It's either deeper down or somehow otherwise warded.
Seems pretty ordinary.
Delightful.
See, and here's the lease, and the lease just says, "You live here."
Is that literally what it says on the paper?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
One signature Calvin, one
Calvin,
signature
no!
Daniel McPherson.
Calvin, no!
This could be interpreted so many horrible ways.
This is terrible.
I don't think it's that bad.
Calvin, this is terrible.
I don't have to pay anything.
You live here.
You live here, Calvin.
Yes, I
That's
do.
so dire.
I'm down the street from my guild, and I've got Liberté like right around the corner from here, and his office is close by, and so close to transit. I imagine when I make some jewels, I'll
Is this
be
your
able
full
to.
name? Did you sign your full name here?
Well, I mean, sort of like a chicken scratch, Calvin. I don't even know if that's my name though.
We can wait. We will handle this another day. And we will find a way out of this, because this is bad. Never do this again. Never do this again.
Don't sign anything.
Never again.
Just don't sign anything.
Don't
Talk to
sign
us before you
anything.
sign anything.
Okay.
Talk to Kitty before you sign anything.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Whew.
I kind of feel like it's a good deal still, but whatever.
So you head out, and you find yourselves, you pay the exorbitant fee for the quick way over, and you sort of stand on this platform. There's a lot of people in business suits and some people shopping, but this platform takes people all over Saturnine. So you see people going to all these different districts, but you get off at the Confederacy of Cloisters. So this used to be just a nickname, but it became the official name of the district just before the war. And it's got residential and commercial areas, but it's really notable for having a ton of temples and monasteries. It's really a place where a lot of old small g gods have places of worship or libraries like you guys are finding. It's quiet, and it's known for gentle winds blowing through whispering willows and robed figures walking silently across cobblestones.
Ooh.
And I think we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to jump into your experience in the Confederacy of Cloisters.
Sounds
Ooh,
great.
All right.
See you all soon.
Thank you.
Librelite, that's it.
Mm-hmm. welcome back from Shadow Pals. Last we left our lovely performers, they were, and our lovely Vizsla, they had just gotten to the Confederacy of Cloisters. So this is a sort of a temple district of Satyrine, so it's outside of Far Town, so there are definitely Vizsla magic users, people walking around with an angel guarding them. The usual is found, but less so than in Far Town. So this is sort of a quieter place of kind of contemplation. This is very different from your romance district full of loud, noisy, bright, intense starlings. And it's very different from yours is sort of a kind of a refurbished warehouse district. And of course you live in front of sort of this marketplace, sausage salesman place. So this is all very different from
Smell salesman down the street.
the smell salesman, exactly. So, but you sort of step off that platform that you were only on so briefly, and it's in Fartown. It's always autumn, so there was sort of slightly chilly winds and the crinkle of leaves, and that autumn smell. But in the Confederacy of Cloisters, it's a wet, cold spring, so it feels very earthy. But you definitely hear and you feel and you sense that rain on cobblestones and a quiet, gentle wind. So you're not immediately, you don't exactly have your bearings, but are you going to ask around for directions, or what do you do? So you step into a square that seems to have two tall but thin townhomes in it, and then what seems to be a little cafe that's not very populated right now, and some other shops.
Cool.
Do we know our way to the library from here, or do we need to?
You could have looked it up. So it's basically 5 blocks east of here. Right?
Great.
It's not too far.
I'm going to start walking that way.
Yeah, so Kitty starts following, but like as she goes, she takes out of her pocket a she has always to hand like chalk and a blackboard, and she starts taking things out and starts drawing a gets real thoughtful looking and starts working on a summoning circle. Because they take time, and she's going to need to get this thing complete by the time that they get to an alley relatively close to the library. So yeah, she's just like walking and not looking and like swooping under like signs and out of the way of people as she works on a weird scraggly design.
That's really cool.
And there's a gentle rain coming down, so you just hunched over.
Oh yeah, and it keeps getting like bits of it keep getting smudged off by the rain, so she has to
Fix
redraw
it.
lines all the time.
Excellent.
It's a very watery process.
Super cool.
What are you thinking of bringing?
Well, I was thinking demons probably our best bet. Because we're doing something shady, right? And that's also we can bribe them, or I can get him to, play with me. And that is much easier than trying to persuade an angel, which I don't feel like dealing with. And I can't think of anything that's particularly adept at shadow magic otherwise. So
Okay.
that's my feeling on the matter. Do we have anything to bribe a demon that we feel good about?
Demons love meat.
Like, I haven't been to the butcher district recently.
I don't have anything on me.
I got these sausages from my landlord.
For free?
Oh, I thought it was like a moving in present.
Calvin, you gotta stop.
Calvin, don't just take things from him.
He gave it to me.
No,
He gave you the house too, and now look at your
don't
contract.
ever accept anything from him.
Yeah, I
Ever,
live
ever,
there.
ever,
I know,
ever.
it's horrible.
Liberat's a nice man. You can do anything that he wants, like, because it seemed fair. There's like a level of give and take there, right? And you
For sure.
understand the terms.
Yes.
Do you understand the terms with the sausage man?
Yes, he's my neighbor.
Oh my
No,
god.
no.
Did you eat any of the sausages, Calvin?
No, I didn't. I actually weirdly have not been that hungry here.
Don't eat any of the sausages.
The new Sooth card is Elusive Sleep. It is enhancing, visions, which seems to check out. I cannot get that far.
I pull my
Which is Kitty.
I'm wearing a glove on this hand, and I just pull it inside out to make it shifts into an umbrella as I'm pulling it that I'm already holding, and I just pop it up to keep your drying.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely.
Right.
So she completes it and gets ready to summon, I think, a demon that she's worked with before. So one that, now that she knows that they have a bribery that they're going to be their first bank on a thing, one that can be truculent, which means that
Oh, a sub. Yay.
Ooh.
one that doesn't just like to work with her, so she doesn't feel like she's being screwed over. You know?
Excellent.
Yeah. Because
give
they have
you
something to work with.
An extra sortilege for that
Ooh.
sub because you're about to cast, and that is
Thank
maybe
you.
when sortilege would come in handy.
Yeah.
So I have an idea about which one you
Yeah,
may have
I
worked
was going
with,
to
if
say
you were up
that
for it.
I would love to take if we have demons coming in.
Yeah. So Richard Dresden had given us, some more one to your venture. So it's going to be a little easier.
Okay, cool.
So this demon is Arakesh. The pronoun is it that it uses. Arakesh has no true form. They sort of find beings that use physical forms very, very hilarious to them. And they appear as a mirror copy of whoever looks at them. So they're sort of going to each of you, they will look exactly like you looking back at yourself. And they tend, Arakesh tends to, it behaves really erratically, and so it can be, you really have to make sure that you've motivated them right. But once you've got them down to a contract, they're more powerful than some of the other ones that you've summoned before.
Great.
So do I have to give you a level, or what happens?
Yeah. So you don't have to tell me, but I do have to. So
You have +1 venture.
we hit the thing. We get to the area. We can see the library.
Yes, and so it looks like this big Gothic structure of black stone and green-tinted windows, and that coil of mist I was talking about looks almost like a snake, like a little ethereal snake, coiling all the way up the spire, protecting it.
All right, we're gonna summon Arakesh, which means that thank you so much for keeping this dry.
Oh yeah.
We need to not disturb this as soon as he's in, as soon as it's in, because once it's there, I'm gonna have a few minutes to try to deal with it,
Okay.
and then
Should we give you some space?
well, sure, but then depending on how it goes, either it's gonna try to attack us. Hopefully not. It'll be fine, and or it'll make us all invisible and we'll get to go in.
Excellent. So there are actually multiple roles required for this, and people, someone else gave you another sub, so if you've got multiple ventures,
Yes.
it'll be great.
So I know its name, so I already have a +1.
Yep.
But depending on the level, this is going to be Trixie.
Okay.
So yeah, let's attempt this because it's going to be 3 rolls.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put a bunch of my sortilege into it. How does it?
Cool. You can
How do
do.
I do?
You basically apply sortilege once, and you'll be rolling 2 dice each time.
Oh, okay.
So you have your mundane die, and you get to take 1 sortilege die.
Okay, cool.
And later on, you may unlock secrets that let you do more.
And then I'll put 2 of my sorcery into this.
You can only put 1 at a
I can
time
only
right
put
now.
1 at a
I
time.
know you're so limited
No, it's okay.
early.
We're learning.
But you already have another venture from our friends there. And are you trained in any kind of skill? Are you kind of trying to persuade it or bribe it? What's your?
So yeah, I'm bribing it. I have the
Cool.
sausages.
Oh yeah, and that's something it likes. So that's definitely going to add
The
one to
most
your venture.
horrifying sausages.
They're horrific sausages.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, so I think I know your target. You don't.
Okay.
So give us your first roll. And tell me what it kind of looks like.
Yeah. So I have to roll to even summon it, right?
Okay.
That's the cool. 4 and 2. Low roll.
And did we say that are you being enhanced right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. So that's very helpful. All right, so it works. So
Cool. So to start, it's fairly easy. Kitty puts the summoning square down on the ground, puts the umbrella over it, takes her pair of loaded dice out of her pocket, puts it down, throws it onto the thing. the circle glows, and then up pops Arakesh, who looks like all of us individually.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Arakesh. Long time no see. How you doing?
Still in that physical form. Even if it's crystalline, you're still as meaty as the rest.
that's rude.
What's that smell?
Right. I have sausages.
Oh, you've come around, haven't you? And sort of reaches for it.
I need something from
And it's
you.
at the edge of the circle. So, when do you have to roll?
I have to roll, I believe, 3 times now.
Yeah.
During the course of this, we just talk, and then the 3 things I think determine whether or not this works. Oh, the effect of generally if it works and how much it works.
Okay, perfect. So it snarls at you and says, what are you looking for?
Well,
Another break-in? A little heist?
okay.
Another?
A little
Not
disguise thievery?
there. We go. I need invisibility specifically. It's the only thing I need from you. Very, very specific invisibility for 3 individuals, myself and my 2 compatriots here.
That's
Can you
not a
pull
lot
that
of
off?
sausage, my friend.
You're not a very big individual, now are you?
You have no idea about my true form. I'm vast. I'm endless. I'm not bounded by your fleshy meat bags.
Well, you never show it to us, so how are we supposed to know?
You should just believe me.
You're kind of like bargaining for fleshy meat bags right now, though. Because that's what a sausage is.
Calvin,
I like you. Come closer.
you don't want to get involved with this, Calvin.
No.
Calvin.
Bring him.
Go talk to it.
Yeah, but just take the sausage. Don't be weird.
Calvin's one of the individuals that I am trying to get
I see why.
Uh-huh.
All right.
What's that supposed to mean?
All right. The meat, I admit, is enticing, but I would like to know a little bit about what you're doing here. You know, knowledge is something I also seek.
You want to play quid pro quo? Oh, we can go all day on that, but it's gonna cost you. It's gonna make things a little easier.
Give me a roll to see how warmed up to you it is.
2 and 8.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're doing great.
We also had a 100 lower by 1 and a subscription.
Nice. Okay. Someone gets another sortilege. Who's low on sortilege? Maybe Calvin?
I have 3.
I've got 5 right
Oh my
now.
gosh.
Give it to...
Definitely Wayne. Okay, we gotta spend this sortilege. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I got to do more rolls.
All right. So the 8 is great, and with the extra venture, it was gonna, you see it trying to go through the motions of this whole bargaining song and dance that you've done before, but it's very charmed. It's curious. It was bored. You can just read it on its expression. It looks like you, but you know how to read these things, and it's enjoying being out from wherever it was, probably the red. So what do you? But are you going to tell it any information, or just say?
We're going to the library.
Get over it. Oh, you Vislane, your libraries. Fine, let's make this quick.
Do I have to do 2 more rolls? How does
I think that.
So we good because
yeah.
it wants to help now?
Basically, you
Cool.
have a bunch going for you, and it just warmed up to you. So
Cool. She tosses in
the sausage.
sausages.
All right. So are they? So it just eats it in the grossest way
Yeah.
possible, right? It's peeling the sort of encasing, and it's slurping.
Like a
and-
banana.
but it's all you eating it that horrible way. Like
Yeah.
y'all are watching
Oh, I'm
yourselves
really
eat
sorry for this.
horribly.
Yeah.
And yeah. So and I guess in Kitty's form, you see it go through the transparent.
Oh
sort
yeah,
of
gross.
organs.
So
So,
it
it's
go-
extra.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's very gross.
We
But-
had another sub.
Ooh, great
Oh,
job.
thank
Well,
you.
this is like the big moment where a bunch of rolls are going to make or break your entry here.
Cool.
So you see just outside of the alley, I assume you weren't summoning in view of it, you see that large Gothic structure, black stone and green tinted windows, and very obscured. In fact, the entrance itself is obscured by that mist, that living mist that protects it. So, but you see that Arakesh, it will it rises up in your own form, and it seems to peel you open. So it sort of breaks your body open, not in a visceral way, but in some sort of homunculus reality way. And what comes forth is a shadow exactly in the shape of you, and it goes and it steps into each of you. So 3 shadows come out, and it obscures your vision a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see that what you're able to look through your hands. You're able to see all 3 of you, but you're functionally very well protected and fairly invisible. It doesn't make you non-detectable in lots of other ways, but you had some thoughts about that, I assume. Kitty heart. Okay, so you are cloaked in this beautiful but kind of gross, oily feeling cloak of shadow. All right, who leads?
Well, thank you very much, Arakesh. You have a lovely eternity. See you around.
I'll be seeing you. And it poofs away. She erases and puts that away.
Can we see each other?
Yes.
Okay.
It's you at the same time. You both see each other and don't see each other. You can see exactly behind them, and it doesn't exactly look like translucence. It just looks like you're seeing both.
Well, if neither of you mind, thank you so much for paying for the trip up. I was planning on using this. She pulls a feather with tines out of her pocket to get us through the barrier.
Makes sense.
Okay, sure.
All right, let's go. They walk up.
Yeah.
What's the barrier like?
Excellent. So it looks like, it's very poofy, almost marshmallowy mist at this point. It looks like the mist is piling up and pushing against some other barrier that sort of captures the whole thing. So the mist is sort of moving around this enclosed space, and so the mist is really pooled here, and you can just barely see that there's a wrought iron gate behind it, a couple feet back. So it looks, as you're checking it out, and you're invisible, so you can really look hard, it almost has a bubble-like rainbow sheen to the outside, but it's otherwise just this featureless enclosure, and you can of course see the mist pools at the bottom, but you can see up above the spire further on. So, but with wicked keys, if that's what you're planning on using,
that is what I'm planning to use.
They as soon as you
cool, yeah. She takes Wayne's hand, and he takes Calvin's hand, and she goes through.
And as soon as you start as soon as you kind of crystallize your intention, you see that bits of that bubble-like rainbow surface peel away into a little keyhole. And it's a keyhole specifically that's feathery, and it's got the exact shape for that feather. So you use that magical key, and what happens is there's sort of this billowing that it almost feels like that mellow wind behind you picks up, and it blows you a little tunnel. So there's a little gentle tunnel that leads you directly to those wrought iron gates, and as it blew away that living mist, it also reveals a side path that seems to be off to one of the wings of this structure. And in fact, the mist doesn't fully blow away from the main entrance. It seems to clear the path along the side path for you, almost as if it's trying to lead you over there.
What do we think about this?
I'm not going to argue with mist.
I mean, I'm suspicious.
Well, you're always suspicious, Wayne. Let's go.
Lovely. So you silently creep through, and you first encounter some people who are clearly who work here or have been studying here. There's a woman with this elegant green gown with and she has irises shaped like a twisted starfish, and she has the shadows of her gown as you awkwardly pass her. Right, she kind of comes across this side path that you're on, and you don't want to step into the mist, but you also can't run into her, so you kind of all scooch back to not actually touch her. And as she walks really close to you, you see that she has shadows of her gown are showing all sorts of different sea creatures that seem to be moving in this beautiful pattern. That's a NPC from John S. Marvin that I really like. But they've got so she's got this elegant green gown, but she's got her hood pulled up in this mist, and she looks very solemn and somber. So you keep scooching around, and there are some doors. Where do you want to enter? What are you looking for? Because there's several entrances that seem to be cleared for you.
Yeah.
Is there anything matching any of the symbolism I saw in the amulet?
Yes, actually, there are plinths in the sort of yard that it's sort of where the mist is piling up a lot, but you get a better view of them since you've been cleared the way, and these plinths seem to be placed at really strange specific intervals, and you think that if you were to get a view from up above, it's actually set out in a ritual pattern. And it might be something you walk around where rituals take place, or it might be something where you cast. But on those plinths, you see they're sort of like pyramids. They're little four-sided pyramids, and on each face of the little pyramid at the top is the symbol of role. So you've definitely come to the right place.
We should try to find the center of this
I'm on board.
thing.
I mean, I got us in. This is you now.
Okay.
Why don't we make a roll to sort of, if you'd like to ascertain like the best way to get to the center of this place.
Sure.
It's a little awkwardly set up, so I would request a roll.
Great, I will do it.
Yeah.
I'm really good at perception.
Do it.
Ooh. You can help, or you can do it.
Yeah,
too.
is there a way that I can help?
Yeah. If you have training in it, you can lend your training. Otherwise, you can do the roll, and he can be helping. So.
I also have searching as one of the things that I'm good
beautiful.
Oh, then let's, you
Yeah,
should
I believe it.
take
Do it.
point.
You can lend him sortilege if you'd like, but you guys all
Yeah,
have
I have a
sortilege
We've all got a huge
for
pile of
days. Thank you,
sortilege.
guys.
at. Yeah, I'm going to use one.
Use it. All right. Do you want to spend? So you don't know how difficult this is, but you think it'll be pretty difficult.
Great.
You want to spend an intellect, Bene?
Sure.
Cool. To make it one easier, look at your venture of 2 because venture of 1, Bene.
Can I
venture of
spend
2.
2, or you can only spend
Just
one
one
at a
for
time?
now.
Okay.
Okay. Get it.
All right, here we go.
Oh, wait. Let me draw a card. But yeah.
I got a 7 and a 2.
Cool. This is the Secrets family.
That's me.
That's you. Okay.
Huzzah.
Perfect. A 7 and a 2. Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Beautiful. So, especially with your 7 and your 2 venture, that's at least a 9, probably more, because you're enhanced by magic right now. What is it about this place that you immediately sort of latch onto and you realize, that's the trick? You know, there's always a trick with these places. What's the trick that leads you to the center?
I think I'm looking at the plinths, and
Yeah.
I'm wearing this amulet.
Yes.
And it's almost like magnetic, where I can feel it like repel
Yeah.
and like pull in different directions.
Perfect.
So I just sort of like focusing really hard on the feeling of
Yeah.
where it's trying to go and where it's trying to avoid. I just walk to a place where it feels like it's in perfect equilibrium between the
Cool.
Nice.
different plinths.
And when you get to that spot, what you notice is as though it's if you move just an iota to the side, you don't see it, but it's actually a little doorway with a really plain looking versus this really overwrought architecture. There's this plain wooden doorway with a little old knocker. It looks very worn and warm and inviting. It's just this simple arched wooden door, and it appears before you kind of just in this walkway that you've been on, only when you step in that spot.
Do you guys see it?
No. What?
Okay. Go with me on this. I knock on the door. I use the knocker.
Nice. You give it a knock, and the wood, the grain of the wood starts to ripple, and there seems to be a yawning face there. This almost like a child's face. It looks very youthful and exuberant, and it gives this big yawn, and you can see it as these big bushy eyebrows, and it blinks its eyes a bunch at you and says, "Oh, hello.
Hello there.
Why, you have the amulet. You must have come."
I do have it. My friends and I were hoping to get passage to the Blue Sun.
Well, there's plenty of secrets for every bit of travel, especially the night side at the Library of Role.
Great.
We're so happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
You can kind of hear this voice, but it sounds very garbled, like you're hearing it through water or something.
Wayne, what's it like?
I mean, you can see it.
I can hear it. I can't see it.
Yeah,
You can move them into the slot if you'd like.
I stand to the side and I just kind of like pull Kitty up to where I was standing a second ago.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Are you here for the Library of Role? We're so happy to have you.
Yeah.
I'm afraid you don't have the medallion. You'll have to bring that back, but we're happy to have you.
Wonderful. Who are you?
Oh, I'm the guardian of the Underdark of the library.
You're the guardian of the Underdark of the library.
Yes, it's lovely. We'd love to have you stay. Are you here for a long time?
Perhaps. What sort of entity are you?
Oh, I'm simply a guardian spirit.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Wayne, I feel like it's fine. Just don't, just don't state intentions other than, visiting.
I've done this before.
Calvin's really throwing me off.
Okay.
Is there another?
There is.
Hi!
He's mute.
Oh, hello.
Calvin.
You're all very hard to see.
Here he is. And there he goes.
You may want to get your forms checked out. They seem to be very, they need some calibrating.
Oh,
Thank you. We will do that.
yeah, right.
I pull the amulet out so it's on the
Yeah.
outside of my clothes, and I attempt to open the door, spirit.
Yeah, perfect. So there's the sort of the knocker, and as soon as you sort of take the step and the intention forward, it swings open and reveals this really brightly lit with candles walkway downstairs, down these hewn stone stairs. But there's lots of candles lit in these little alcoves, and there's actually every once in a while a big, pretty chandelier that you can see is wrought into the very specific. What you now see is the three-dimensional symbol of Role. So what you're wearing on your amulet is kind of a squashed down 2D version, and these chandeliers hold its own form of it.
The amulet seems to be an important component of this, so
Yeah.
stay close to me.
Yeah, so we'll see if we even can go.
Mm-hmm.
We attempt to go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. As
We
soon,
can-
as
okay,
soon
cool.
as long as he leads, you sort of are able to shuffle in after him, and the door cheerfully shuts, and you can see the face on the other side, sort of waving at you down. But the staircase does spiral down. Everything in the whole architecture of this place seems to have a chirality to it. It shifts and it turns, and it's a little hard to see for far distances everywhere you've been walking. But there's this kind of cramped but warm staircase down.
Okay.
Let's pull a
I haven't
card.
been in this library before,
Neither
so
have I. Yeah.
I'm just gonna follow my gut.
That sounds good. Remember that I need stuff about original Kitty Heart.
Right.
You need stuff about getting the blue sun. Calvin, what do you need?
I don't know. I don't feel like I need much of
You
anything.
need a lot. Common
wonder-
sense.
I have common sense. It's just that the world got all weird on me.
You have uncommon sense.
Sure. Fine.
It's endearing. It's just not useful. So I feel
Starting to wonder if
I mean, I'm down to find out anything, you know. It's a library. We'll figure it out.
what were you starting to wonder?
well, I mean, if we can skip the trip to the Blue Sun altogether, that would be ideal. Maybe some of the information I'm looking for is just in this library.
That's always a good point. Sure.
Great. Yeah, however I can help.
So I pulled a new suit that card. It is the incriminating. It's the incriminating skull. So you should all take a look at it because it's going to be our Invisible Sun card. So it'll be in play for the rest of the session. So you'll see that it has gold in bold and silver in sort of faded, and so that means it's enhancing gold magic and it's pulling away and making it harder to do silver magic.
Are you a silver person?
Yeah.
Sorry. But there's lots of other fluctuations of magic to deal
How do
with.
you know you're silver? Is it on your...
It's
Oops.
it's part of walking the path of suns.
Cool.
It's just that specific ability. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay.
So it's just when you try to use that, and your spells, you'll have to look at what colors they are. incantations and stuff.
I only have one spell. And I
All
used
right.
it already.
So you're continuing to go down the staircase, and you're
Are there any other people here? that we can see? Or
there's
anything?
nobody down here, and you actually don't even hear footsteps. It's really quiet. All you hear is the flicker of sort of that candlelight. It almost feels like that's the only sound that you probably can't even really be hearing, but it feels like you hear it. So what's your plan down here? There's a lot of books down here, presumably. There's some sort of vault. And
Are the books organized in any particular way that we can tell?
you haven't gotten out of the staircase yet, but
Okay.
you're as you get to the bottom of this one staircase, it seems to branch out into a little hallway that has 2 more spiral staircases sort of
cool.
leading out. Do you want to take the left or the right? Or do you want, there's no obvious difference to them. You might be able to investigate and figure out a
We're
difference.
going left. Rule is the left-handed god.
Course.
I was gonna leave it up to luck, but I guess we could logic it. That seems fair. Sure.
All right. You go left, and you're starting to feel, why don't you all quickly make me a roll to sort of a mental defense roll.
I'm going to use sortilege on this. 'cause
Great.
I've got a huge
Oh yeah, I
pile.
forgot about that. I'm gonna use that too.
Okay.
That sounds like a good idea.
It's an 8 for me.
Okay.
So yeah, we're just taking the bigger of the two.
Yep. And let me
9.
know if you roll
I
a
think
0.
Cat rolled a...
What? That was a 2. I
think I'm-
That's a 0. I think that's a 0.
Is it a 10 or a 0?
It is a 0.
Yeah!
Okay, we have flux. Okay. Yay!
Yay!
And what did you roll?
9.
Okay. Man, big rolls for you guys. So the both of you are fine, and surprisingly, Kitty Hart, usually the stoic of them. So first of all,
She's always
flux,
getting in
which
trouble,
is
though.
exciting. Let's see.
And we just had 100 bits for
Oh, thank you. Will not matter here, though.
This is horrible. Oh no, this is
Good.
very horrible.
Good.
Oh my
Okay, that's fine.
Yikes.
So
What?
you get down there, and basically this role was that there's something about this place of really intense magical power and ancient. This is one of the structures that survived the war in a major way. It was very well fortified, and so it's one of the few that has really just kept going for a very, very long time. And so, Kitty, you start to get a little caught up in the awe of this place as you get down to the bottom of the staircase, and it opens up this incredible, just way too large, huge vaulted chamber with books sort of going on every conceivable surface, right? So there are these columns that are sort of holding up the vaulted ceilings, and the columns are really encircled by these spiraling bookshelves that there's no it almost seems like none of these bookshelves actually start or end anywhere. It almost looks like it could be some sort of strange
Mobius strip of books.
Exactly, of books. However, so you get really caught up in this, and this is an enormous place, and you don't see a single soul. You do see that there seem to be some like reading rooms and some tables off to the side, but it feels not musty, but definitely old. The smell of yellowed pages are here. But as you are trying to catch your breath and get in control of your awe, you notice that there's some bits of your magic are kind of flying off of you in ways you didn't intend. And so what does that look like? So when something goes wrong, or you're accidentally casting something.
Yeah, I think that I start getting more molten than I meant to.
Ooh, very cool.
Yeah.
And so the dynamics of those like fluidy looking bits of crystal within you sort of move around a
Start
lot
moving
more.
around, and if you get too close to me, you can get burnt accidentally.
Kitty,
Alright.
what the heck?
So
Sorry.
this is bad enough that I'm going to grant you a despair.
Cool.
All written or printed text in the vicinity, books, signs, tattoos, etc., becomes seemingly meaningless lorem ipsum. And so you can see that there are strange, so that is from John Dorflinger.
It's terrible.
That is really
It's
terrible.
a bad thing for a library.
In a
for
library.
In
sure.
a library. And so you can see these ripple effects going over all of these ancient tomes.
Right.
So it doesn't seem to, you're
Is
not
it
sure
just
how
for
far
her, or is that for all of
No,
us?
it's
it's for everybody.
Oh.
This is so bad.
Kitty,
This is
what
the
are
worst.
you doing?
Stop doing whatever you're doing.
What are you doing? Stop it.
I'm not.
Hold it in.
Are you sure this is?
Oh my God.
This
Oh my
can't
God.
be me.
You're being such a Calvin right now.
I'm going to try something.
Okay.
Can I try something? Can I try something?
Can you
That's
do it
quick.
quietly?
Don't pull a Calvin. I really like that you coined that.
So Calvin is going to use from Thunder Power. And what Calvin wants to do is use, I think, speed. He'll combine speed and power.
Nice.
So he's going to take from the wind speed
Yeah.
and take from thunder power. And he is going to weave them into kind of an electromagnet. And he's going to center it on our friend Kitty here to suck in this spell that has affected
The
her.
momentum, yeah.
So like she won't be able to help us search the stacks, but it won't bleed out and lorem ipsum this entire library.
Oh. This is fine. I pulled the Vizier, the nemesis of the Notions family. You wouldn't happen to be Notions, would
I
you?
don't
That would
think
be so
I'm
sad. You
Notions.
totally are.
Oh no!
Wow.
Is it you?
This is the moment that if you have been holding back on any sort of bits that maybe he could probably use a
Well, I'm
venture
going to
here.
toss in my something for my sorcery pool.
Okay.
And can I also? I've got the sortilege die. Can I also toss in a sortilege point?
Nope.
Okay.
Your dice are your points, kind of.
So-
Okay, we've got save the books and. No more bits now, but I definitely will use these 3 venture for you because this is a really hard. So this is going to be a level 10 effect. This is if you want it to fully work. Okay.
So I have to get a 9.
So no, because you have 3 venture coming in
Okay.
from them and
Cool.
1 from you. So it's actually only 6, but you got to get it.
I do gotta get it. Okay. Okay. I rolled a 0 and a 1.
Oh no!
Wow.
Isn't that a 10 though?
No, but in
goes
Invisible Sun, it's a 0.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that is on the sortilege
Which
die.
one's your? It is okay. I was about to ask. All right, so we got another flux, and we have a failure. So what does this look like? It was really hard to do. What does it like? Does the molten stuff sort of burst through her?
So
or-
yeah, I'm using speed as a conduit for power because like I think power and thunder like it really translates to making an electromagnet for magic, but speed is not the right thing.
Not around fire,
Really?
buddy. You don't want.
Well, I can't do anything with fire. Literally cannot interact with
No,
fire.
I'm
at
saying
all.
that you're putting speed around someone who's creating a great deal of heat.
Yeah. So it's just like it starts to move the world around it. Like Calvin was expecting, like, yeah, this is going to be flashy and showy. There's probably going to be like a localized tornado or something like that. But like the electricity of the thunder is flowing through the tornado. And so at first it's like, it's an electricity tornado. I think it worked pretty well. I think it's doing what it wants. It's an electricity tornado. I have no idea how to control this. I don't know what's going on anymore. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my god.
So your flux is from Kirsten McLeod, and a nearby book opens to a page that tells you something you might need to know.
Ooh, wow, that's convenient, but can we read it?
It's a good question. So this effect of things turning into lorem ipsum are happening in sort of cascades, and so I'm assuming for a book to get in front of you, it has to fly at you.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's going to be a tornado of books for me.
yeah. So yes. So this little silver inlaid, beautiful, almost like prayer book or little journal looking thing flies into you, Calvin. So it hits you. And it's open to the page that tells you something you need to know. And it says, welcome to the Library of Roles, Underdark Chambers. Things you'd want to know. And it's sort of got this guide, and it says several things. And what the important number that you eventually flip to is that should your experimental trials go wrong, always remember that your left hand is the way home.
Our left hand is the way home? There are a lot of rules for this library. I mean, I sort of broke rules that would exist in a traditional library, but I'm pretty sure we broke rules that would exist in this library as well.
Hey, Calvin, can you turn off the giant electricity tornado? That'd be real great.
What do I need to do to try and stop my spells?
I think you can make it stop. It took you a second, but
Darcy, I have all of this sortilege, and I'm down to just my sortilege now, but I kind of want to see if I can make the problem worse before it gets better.
legit. And you are Calvin, so any normal Vizsla would be able to has learned enough to stop their own weaves, but it has been established that you have not.
Yes.
So to stop an effect that you created is not outrageously challenging, but it's going to be a 6. So.
Okay. I am going to use breath, and I'm going to combine that with sound, and I'm going to sort of make a
So
big
much for your-
exhale
Cool.
to just release
And
everything.
that's very loud in a library.
Yes, but it'll be like a loud.
Ooh, I like that. Do
Classic
you want to spend
library
any
sound.
sorcery to make it easier?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
why
you're looking
not?
for a. Actually, you're casting again, so let's pull a new card. Unknowable Truth, which is kind of a fun place. It's I don't know if do your aggregates have colors?
My aggregates do not appear to have colors.
Okay, cool. So it is secrets though, and you are secrets.
No, I was.
I am secrets.
Yeah,
You're
he's
secrets.
secrets.
Okay, cool. Cool. So we're not on the Vizier and the Nemesis anymore though, so you don't get -2 to all your
-2.
actions, which
Thank
is
goodness.
intense.
7 and another flux.
Really?
Yes.
You're so bad at this. But actually, your 7 totally gets it. So so you're able to undo your torrent of electricity and.
So the
and
flux was not on my sortilege die, so I don't know if
good.
that counts.
Okay, it doesn't. Thank God.
Okay.
It's a lot of flux, guys.
So yeah, that goes out, and Kitty's just there. She's blushing furiously now, which means that she's like almost that it's like
Is it
glowing.
more faster?
Yeah.
Glowing.
It's like a lava lamp.
Yes.
Well, team, we did it.
What? What did we do?
We stopped all the damage we were causing.
How about you proceed, and I will stay here and try to minimize the damage.
I am worried that if I get too far away from you and you don't have amulets, that you may disappear.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Left hand is the way home. We know that.
Good to know. I'll keep it in mind.
What does that mean?
I mean, we still need to interpret that piece of information, but we have it. I assume it's useful. This is a guide for the library.
I have other ways of gathering information now that I'm in the space, so I will work on that. You all, please, go enjoy. I will try to do this less.
Great. Great.
Oh,
Good.
it's been a hard day for Kitty, man.
Okay. I'm gonna go start perusing books. I'm gonna
All right.
get some perusing.
Cool. It's really hard to tell. There used to be helpful little signs about which column and area you were in, but they've all been turned to garbled nonsense. But further back in the library, where the flux of magic didn't reach, you are able to find some guidance, and so you're able to find some areas that seem like they might deal with the night side of the blue sun. But you're trying to get to, helpful information about how to get there, right? And this is, since this is such a secret place, this is not your average Vizsla's how to get there. This is the hard-won secrets. A lot of these are journals, actually, from adherents of the roles, sort of like academics, right? Basically. So a lot of these are journals of, here's all the stuff I found out about the night side of this place versus that place. So why don't you give me a roll to sort of get to the most useful information?
Okay.
Should we both be rolling, or?
If you're both looking, yep. And you can throw sortilege in there or
9.
not. A 9, lovely. And you're skilled in searching, aren't you?
I am.
It's kind of your jam.
And I only got a 4, 5 with my little greeble.
Cool. That checks out, though. You find some cool books. It's lovely.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you what you're doing in a moment. So you seize upon this book that has a sort of ever-shifting serpent as its spine, and so it just caught your eye. And as you're looking, and it's one of the things that seems to, it almost seems like it has little text sort of at the top of the spine, and so you think it's a strong enough book or magically warded enough that it didn't get affected by the flux. I mean, it wouldn't have. So we're in an area that's safe from the flux, but it seems like a really powerfully warded book in any case. So you pull it out, and it's got this. Let's pull an NPC for who wrote it. It's a journal by, let's see, Victoria Zhu. She's a traveling librarian who's loath to part with her books. That one's also by Kirsten McLeod. Apparently I'm really drawn to her stuff. Sorry. We'll keep using stuff. But this is one of her, so there's a whole section at the front that talks about how it has to be warded such and such, and she wouldn't part with it if you didn't do X and Y. But you find a section that's actually my journey to my journey to find my lost dream. And so it's this whole chapter about how she found her way through the night side, and there's all sorts of like extraneous details. You think you'll have to read a bit more, but as you're flipping through it, you notice that she was in a rush, and actually her whole experience kind of echoes your memory loss, and so it really draws you to her. And she mentions that she has a town she has a house in the neighborhood that you do. There's all sorts of weird connections that you notice as you're flipping through this, that it feels like some other version of you almost. Instead of lost memories, she had lost dreams, but she had to travel to the blue. So it it tips your coincidence-ometer, right? And you think that this is, if you were able to spend some more time with it, this might be useful. What are you doing?
So, I have a thought.
Yes.
I would like to summon a ghost
Yeah.
from my family to go gather the information for me,
Great.
since I'm stuck here. So, there are possible... Who's dead in my family who liked to read that I liked? You know?
We got a bunch of NPCs. We can probably find
Totally.
some rando.
So dead like to read?
Yeah.
So many good randos. This is great. Cool. Her name is Dahlia Ducky DeCrew.
Oh.
By Valkyrie Lemons. Thank you. She's a lady who always gets what she wants, one way or another. She may appear like a ditz, but she's a sharp cookie who only plays when she's holding the aces. Is that
That's
a relative
definitely
of
a
Kitty
Hart family or what?
Oh, that's so great.
So,
Invisible Sun isn't magic.
Dahlia Ducky
Yay.
DeCrew.
Dahlia Ducky DeCrew. Yes, so you want to summon her.
Yeah, so as soon as everybody leaves, Kitty starts,
Yeah.
she takes out her chalk and starts on the ground drawing her family tree.
Yeah.
And gets to Dahlia and draws a circle around her and then draws a circle around the whole thing.
Yeah.
And rolls her dice into it and it glows and
Cool.
she poofs up.
Excellent. So what does Dahlia look like
Dahlia!
as a member of the Hart family?
Yeah, so she has like our trademark red hair, and I think it's kind of like, it's in flapper curls. Like the,
yes.
yeah, and the finger curls. What's her sense of style? I think that she has like a stole.
Ooh.
She's got a cigarette holder.
Uh-huh. And I don't think the rest really matches. I think the rest is very jaunty. Like, because that's very glamorous. And the rest is very, like, jodhpurs and, like, fun times. She's a little
She's
heller.
eclectic. I like it, too.
With a bright yellow riding jacket.
This
Ooh.
ghost, this very translucent ghost,
Yeah.
is wearing a bright yellow riding jacket.
Yeah.
Awesome. So she's actually very willing. So
Okay.
I'm not going to
Cool.
make you roll because you're pretty good at this
Because
sort of
she'll-
thing.
yeah.
And she's
And I don't have to if they want to come in.
yeah. What's her voice like?
That's on you.
Kitty darling. Kitty darling. It's so good to see you.
Aunt DeCrew. Nice. It's really nice to see you.
Oh, you're looking so fabulous.
Oh,
I love
so
it,
are you. I
darling.
love your jacket. Is that new?
It is.
Oh, gosh.
I've been thinking about coming back to Saturnine, but I'm having too much fun in the Pale. You simply must visit.
Well, I'd love to, but you know how it is. They have me, like, working up at the tavern, which is great, but, I mean, well, it's not. It is. It is.
She looks, she rolls her eyes and smokes from her long cigarette.
I was hoping you could help me with something at the library today. Something about our family. Basically, OG Kitty Heart.
Oof, she shivers and sort of curls in on herself.
She's bought up some of my debt, and
Oh, no.
it's a bit of a problem for me.
Kitty.
I know. I know.
Oh,
Stupid.
she was all excited to get summoned and was so glad to see you, and she's just crestfallen.
Stupid, I know, but that's what I'm dealing with. And so I'm here today to try to get information about her. Ideally her true name, but it's, unlikely. So what level she's managed to get to as a spirit, different things about her, so that in dealing with her in the future, when I summon her eventually to deal with her, to reckon with the whole situation, I'll be better informed. That's what I'm looking for, really. And I'm having a bit of a problem. She starts blushing again.
Yeah.
I can't really go into the library, so I was hoping someone from the family might be able to go and look. And since you're really good at reading and all, you might do it.
Kitty. This is a pickle you found yourself in. I'll do it. But you have to do something for me first. You have to get yourself some protection.
Oh.
OG Kitty is going to eviscerate you.
Well,
If she's left the Pale, she's quite powerful. And she's clearly seized upon you as her way to get fully back in.
sure. Yeah, okay.
Please, there's an old brooch of mine. She's gotten very serious and like down to business. It's in my old room. I'm not sure who's living there now, but I will check. And it's in the little statuette of a cat. You have to smash it though. So it's in this black cat, sort of sphinx-like. It's got a lovely little necklace on it. It's one of my favorites. But this was a sort of, in case of need, break cat. So you'll want to find that, please, and wear it at all times. So you want me to find anything I can about OG Kitty, specifically her name, in your family's library.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, and I will. I'll go get the cat brooch, the brooch from inside the cat that I have to smash. The Sphinx cat.
Please do, but I wonder how you may need to send someone else in for it if OG Kitty is living there.
I can't really leave because my friends are here, so I was gonna send someone to go get it. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to impose on you.
She attempts to give you like a hug or a pat or whatever affection. Let's see, Ducky was wont to do, and she just looks really worried. But she's sort of
She's like blushing more. You don't need to worry. I'm doing fine, Aunt Ducky. I really am.
yeah, she's very worried. And she sort of pulls this really pretty kind of, what are they called? Fascinators. So she's got a fascinator. And she sort of pulls that off, and she just disappears with it. So she'll come back once she's
Cool.
tried to find any information for you.
Great.
I think I have what I need.
Yeah. Oh, you showed back up?
What?
Did you show back up?
Yeah, I wasn't listening or anything.
Oh.
I was.
It's a very quiet library.
Wayne, that was a really embarrassing conversation for you to overhear.
I didn't want to.
I heard too.
Calvin, no! Gosh darn it. Okay.
I didn't.
It's a huge library.
I can go somewhere. else.
You got what you needed.
Yeah.
Sound really travels.
there is a figure standing in one, that is standing next to one of the columns, a little ways away from you. They're very tall. They've got this crescent moon sort of tiara diadem sort of thing. It's a really tall man with dark features and long scraggly hair and armor. And calling him a man is a bit much, perhaps, because he has this vacant stare. He has the look of a thought form, which are kind of summoned humanoid, more like programs than beings. They're sent. There's a ritual to bring one up, and they do a thing. And this one has a big, sort of mostly ceremonial-looking spear that they're holding. They're just staring at you very intently.
Calvin.
You notice that the shadow that's surrounding you it seems to be reaching its limit of duration for this creature's ability.
Ah.
It starts taking slow steps in your general direction, and it seems to be staring at you, but then you notice it's sort of scanning. It seems to have zoned in somewhere near you, though. So it's taking these slow steps. Are you guys going to try to remain very still to not be seen? Are you going to try to book it, move elsewhere, talk to it?
I would like to super subtly scuff out the chalk circle.
Yeah.
Good call.
Why don't you tell me how super subtle you're being?
So I'm trying to use my invisible body as like a body block.
Yeah.
And then just like reach slowly down behind me and like sweep it away with my
your
hand. Or actually, I pull my most useful item so that I have so far. I turn my glove inside out, and it turns into like a little like a chimney broom.
Yes.
And I just like kind of like
perfect.
like whip it away.
Yeah, you have the right gadget for it. You definitely do that, and then it's still moving closer to you. Are you gonna just be quiet or move?
I think we're gonna move.
Do we have anything nearby? Kitty breaks
Retreat.
one of the pieces of chalk and throws it.
Nice.
Classic.
That is classic. This is not a very intelligent being. It is meant to just guard and see what it sees, and so it starts to move its head very slowly in that direction.
Grab your sleeves and run.
Yeah, I'm booking it.
Okay,
Yeah, let's do
make
it.
me
If
some
we're running,
movement
we're
rolls
running.
to like move as fast as possible.
Okay.
So you can spend a bene of movement.
Yeah.
And you can spend sortilege if you want to magically enhance your stuff. Of course, that always carries the risk of flux, and this would be a very bad time for flux, but who knows, man?
I'm just gonna go for it.
do it.
I'm just
Hey,
Ooh.
all right.
7, and I had spent
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I spent a movement and got 7 as well.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys fly.
Cheese it.
Yeah, you cheese it. And so
Cheese
you're banging your feet on the steps. Are you just tracking your steps back?
I think so.
Okay, so you're running and you're running, you're running.
Oh no, I took a book.
Just keep the.
It's too late.
Oh God.
Give it to me.
Here.
I just throw it
Oh!
on my shoulder.
That's delightful.
I searched really hard for that.
And you
Was
keep
it something you needed?
I don't know. I rolled a 5 on the search. I have no idea if
Oh,
I needed
okay.
it.
I thought that was a welcome to the library thing.
Oh,
That's great.
No, that was before my roll.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
I ditched it. It's gone.
Do you still have the journal?
I want to say by this point, like while you were talking to
Maybe you
your
transcribed
aunt,
a lot of it.
I want to say I actually tore out the pages that I needed,
You monster.
or and also any ones that felt similar enough to me that I would worry about someone like
Oh, wow.
being able to get a window in. And I used my ring to pull my
Murder board?
yarn murder board down and pin all the pages up to the board and then disappear it.
That's delightful. That's great. All right, so you keep these feet. You're pounding on these steps, and it's been a bit. It should have reached the top by now, and you're just still running. It's feeling like there's something going on.
Guys, I am getting tired.
Okay, stop. Stop.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
To the left? Where are we going to the left?
Our left hand is the way out. I look at my left hand. It's got a glove on it.
Looks like your hand with a glove on it.
Okay. How are your guys' left hands?
My left hand is see-through and it's being less.
I snatch the amulet off, and I just hold it, and then I squeeze it.
It is being squeezed.
Okay, we have a problem.
Take us home.
You're just as you say that, you look back and your Aunt Dahlia, the ghost of her, is standing there, looking very perplexed at you.
Hey, Aunt Ducky.
She just looks very perplexed, but she pulls out
Aunt Ducky, you remember Weenie?
Wayne, little.
Hey, Ducky.
He grew up. It's so good to see you. And
You
she
too.
goes into kind of and so handsome.
Stop
Good work.
It. Wow, Ghost looks
just
good on
being
you,
annoying.
Ducky.
Yeah,
Ghost looks good on
wrong
you.
read on that one. And this is
Oh.
a new friend.
Hi.
Yay! His name's Calvin.
Not sure about that one. He's a strange one.
Yeah.
Where did he come from?
Well, I feel everyone here is a little bit unnecessarily cruel.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be unkind. You know, time spent in the Pale, it dulls one's manners.
Not yours.
That's right. She gives you a little like sort of pomegranate-shaped translucent sphere. It's not fully. It's like textured, interestingly. And she hands it over, and it almost sinks through your hands, and then she sort of looks like she stares at it into submission, and it sort of solidifies up into an item that is fully within our physicality. And she says, I've put all the little snippets of text I could get from the library in that. You'll be able to read it when you get home. Just tap twice, and it will display.
Thank you, Aunt Ducky. This is going to be so helpful.
I'm not sure how subtle I was able to be, but I hope that it helps you, and I hope that you're able to get to the amulet as soon as you can.
I will get to the amulet. I've promised
brooch.
The brooch that's inside of the Sphinx cat that I have to break, but I can't go inside probably if the OG Kitty Heart is there.
Correct. Good luck.
So good seeing you.
Do stop by sometime.
I will when I have the opportunity. I'm sure I will.
All right, she gets a long puff on her cigarette and looks like very contented again to be going back to the Pale. All right, so you have something. You're not sure what, and you can't get out of this staircase. What are you gonna do?
I could try magic again.
No.
I'd really rather you did.
No.
I can't say enough
I
how
haven't
badly
wanted
I
you
want
to
you
do
not to.
magic once today. I didn't want him to do magic once today.
I liked the
Nice.
first time. The first time was great.
I'm not gonna get better at it if I don't keep trying.
It's not the right time for practice makes perfect. It's just not.
okay. Fine.
It was useful when you found out the information about the left hand. Now let's figure out what it means.
Ooh, 100 for magic. So we've got a venture to do something. What are you guys gonna try? Is that Calvin gonna try to magic it against the advice of his pals?
God, let's see. Evens or odds? No, he's gonna follow his friend's advice.
Okay.
Boring.
So you're pretty good at puzzles. This is sort of your jam, right? Do you want to make a roll to try to
I
figure out
do.
what kind of? You're going to spend magic on it, or
I'm gonna
just-
sortilege
You're
it.
gonna sortilege
Yeah.
it. Good. Spending any bene to bring the difficulty down?
Yeah.
Do it. All right. We've got one venture.
I got a 9.
Ooh,
Dang.
and a 2, not a flux. Great. Okay, with that high of a roll, you can tell me how you figure this out, but I think it has something to do with you holding that amulet. You know that you guys are bumping into some kind of last fail-safe, right? If someone got their way in, at least we can trap them down here to keep them captured until we can find them. But as you're holding that amulet, you're sort of you notice that it has a little bit of a frequency when you rotate it. So you were squeezing it, and something felt weird about it, kind of that magnetic push and pull. And as you're reaching out with your left hand toward the wall that it faces when you're going up, you see that it sort of buzzes differently the more that the closer your hand gets to that wall. and it seems to be getting warm, like pleasantly warm, not horribly warm, when you put your hand toward that wall.
Okay. So still holding
You
the
think that
amulet.
that is the way that you open the way out.
Yeah. So still holding the amulet
Yeah.
in my hand, I just like press it into the
Oh,
wall.
perfect. You press it into the wall. You hear like a giggle from that spirit, guardian spirit from the door upstairs, as though it had been tickled. And you find yourselves, all those steps, they just sort of flatten out, and you are at the door.
Oh.
Suddenly, it just sort of, the steps moved up, and you're at the platform at the door.
Hello. Got everything we need. Time to go.
Did you have fun? Are you really leaving so soon?
So much fun.
We had a wonderful time.
You know what? We will be back.
I felt a little bit of a disturbance down there. Are you all right?
Yeah, we're great.
Do get those forms checked out. They're quite unnatural.
Yes, we will.
Come back and visit.
so much. We will. Thank you.
And if you're ready, she swings open. And there's still the path cleared. You think that this mist path clearing is only for you. Otherwise, it probably would have raised some alarms. But that's the magic that wicked keys can induce.
This is convenient. I like this.
Like what?
You like what?
The whole path clearing thing. This is good.
It's great.
Yeah, more like this in the future.
Yeah, more of this.
Less like-
more open, easy path.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real into it. Let's
Yes.
go.
All right. Enticing Jewel. It enhances the invisible cards. Cool. So, where do you head back to sort of regroup?
So,
You're able to escape pretty well.
yeah.
You do see that there seems to be more flurries of the inhabitants here. There seems to be a little quicker walking. There seems to be people walking toward that door that you went in.
How about, I think we should head back to Wayne's house.
Yes.
Wayne's house feels like
I'm
a
into
safe
that.
place. Yeah.
Wayne Manor.
The Waynosphere.
Waynosphere is also very good.
All right,
Wayne
chat.
Sphere.
Please find better names. Wayne Sphere is pretty all right.
Yeah, it's
I refuse for Wayne Manor. Do you take the long way home, or are you willing to spend the crystal to get back?
Let's take the long way.
We're gonna take the long way
No,
home.
we're going to take the long way.
Okay, cool. So you have a lot of time to sort of talk about what you've learned. What's your plan?
Yeah. What'd you find?
I am not sure. I'm wondering a lot of things. My primary concern right now might be that I'm confusing my own situation for the life of a completely different person.
Oh.
Is that common?
No. But it's
Okay.
possible.
Wayne's
Ugh.
World, the Birdhouse, House of Wayne,
House of Wayne is good.
the
The,
Waning Orb.
That
Waning
one's like
Orb
a
is
good
good.
one.
Very
That
good.
is
That
very-
is very good.
How do you feel about it?
I'm
What's your
a
house?
fan of the Waning Orb.
Waning
Great. The Waning Orb. Nice. Great. So, yeah, you're worried.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I also think that if I spend some time with the pages I tore out of that journal, I might be able to figure out how to get us to the Blue Sun. Do you need someone to retrieve this brooch? Again, wasn't listening,
We heard everything.
but we did hear all of it.
Right. Yeah, I do need to go do that. I could try to get like a lesser spirit to go do it.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
why,
we'll do
why
it
don't we
for
just do
free.
it? Yeah.
Okay. Sure, yeah. If you guys could go into the house, do it. Get Sphinx, you have to smash it open.
Just up the stairs, same room as it was.
But you know, my aunt can be a real
Whatever. I've never met her.
well. She's tough though, and I don't really want my position in the house. You know, don't implicate me further because I'm trying to move back in there eventually, out of my current situation.
Calvin, if I garner some attention on the ground floor, could you just go up to the second floor and handle it?
Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. Are we sure we want you to be the subtle one? You to be the distraction? Because I'm great at loud distractions.
Calvin, I want you to cast a spell.
Yeah,
Are you guys going to do this right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys haven't even gone to the waiting room?
No,
or
we're doing this on the way.
Sort of
We
briefly?
just like all of our feet stopped and changed direction.
Well, that sounds like the draw of a suit, that card. Messiah, the defender of visions. Whose visions?
Not me.
Kitty. Hey, that's very appropriate. Super cool. And so the defender gives you some good stuff. +2 to all actions just for Kitty.
Okay.
All right, so you get to the Hart family home. Hart family, is it kind of a mansion?
It's
really,
it's a really beautiful mansion.
it's like an estate too, right? Okay.
I think it's like but it's a mansion in a city, so it's like it's a fenced in thing with a garden, and then it's like a tall house.
Okay, yep, that makes sense. Lovely. So are you hanging back and just instructing them and letting them go? How are you doing this?
We are.
Your shades have totally worn off. You
Yes,
have to
they
recast that.
Yeah, absolutely. How we have to be hooked up to each other via intercom somehow. How are we going to manage that one?
I could probably cast a spell for that.
I bet you could.
I mean, it won't be subtle, though.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the
that's
things
the
that
thing-
can't possibly be.
I mean, do you trust me?
Yeah, I mean, well, yes.
Of course.
Yes, of course I trust you. I trust you.
Okay.
How dare you?
We'll just. I can do this.
Why is everyone so rude?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good luck.
All right, Kitty, do you wait in
Just-
like a coffee shop or something, or a?
Yeah.
I love if there's a cafe across the street.
There's a cafe across the street.
It's a prosody, so it's a place where there's artists come, and that's how you get nourishment. It's not that you order a drink; it's that you go listen to the art, and it sustains you just like a latte or a good meal would.
Cool. So I go to the Percival.
Yep. All right, what's your plan, Wayne? Taking action here,
Yeah.
and you've got the
So-
distraction on. Ready?
The plan is, since this is the second floor here, I'm gonna use my begotten cube to
What?
turn into like a pulley ladder or like a pulley platform that I can wheel myself up to the second floor and just open the window and go in.
Super cool. So this is an ephemera object, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I can turn it into like a ladder or similar
Wow.
object.
Tiny white cube turns into a ladder. And it's, all right, it ends when the sun next sets. Very cool. Are you trying to be, so would there be guards at your home, or is it more of there's just lots of people around, so they
There's
don't
a
really have to guard?
strict butler.
A very strict butler.
Like
Worse than guards.
So
yeah, like a butler who is on it.
that's all you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your plan, but you're waiting for the signal that the distraction has happened, or?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
waiting for a distraction.
And I believe you from earlier have a +1 to magic.
Yes, that we
Yes,
pointed
good
out from
point.
there. I will be spending a sortilege on this.
Okay.
So Calvin wants to take weather from wind, because
Yes.
his idea. Okay, we're creating a distraction, but we also, as subtle as we can make it, not at all. We legally can't do that. As subtle as we want to make it, we don't want people to know this is an obvious distraction. And I'm going to combine that with sound. So Calvin is going to pull a rain cloud closer. He's like spiraling up from the wind, a rain cloud that he's like pulling over the estate. And he's going to cause a rainstorm. And I'm going to make my roll here. And why not spend a sorcery point in addition? Go big or go home. It's a good thing I spent that, because I rolled the 2 and a 3.
So your venture was 2 from the help and the spending of the sorcery. Okay, the 3 will just barely get it. So
Okay.
this is Little Joe. He's a large, quiet, nearly silent man who serves as the butler for here. This is a Seth Alcorn's NPC that I'm sort of modifying on the fly.
What's his name?
Little Joe.
Lil Joe.
He never seems to eat. He can be found when needed, no matter the hour. This is totally a butler. Gentle with anyone he knows, but if the but you might hear rumors of violence in his past.
Yeah, yep.
Has a faded, unreadable tattoo on his forehead.
Oh boy.
So the
Love
way
this man.
the way this spell is working, because I know now that it did work.
Yeah.
It's a rainstorm, a gentle like summer rainstorm, but each drop, instead of making the sound rain makes, screams rain.
So it's
it's
just
just
rain,
a-
rain, 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 rain,
rain. So it's just a cacophonous.
Wow. So you
Horrible.
know, like you don't have to see to know when that happens.
That's,
even
and I
a block
changed my
over.
order of a silly little song to a poem.
Oh, you're gonna need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's delightful. So you see Lil Joe sort of straighten his outfit, and he throws open the sort of double doors from the front entrance to the manor, and he runs out and he's looking and he's shielding his eyes and his ears, and you see him. He runs back in and he grabs an umbrella.
It's just like a muffled
Yeah.
He needs to protect the roses. The roses.
They hate noise.
They do. They're very gentle. You see that he like starts bringing out blankets and he shouts inside, and there are other people sort of coming out and helping to like dampen the sound by bringing out blankets to sort of shield the roses, and so they're very caught up in that activity when Wayne.
I throw the little white cube at
Yes,
the
the begotten
ground
cube.
under my feet, and it turns into a ladder, and I'm already standing on the top rung of it, so it just like shoots me up.
Perfect. Beautiful.
And I take out one of my business cards,
Yeah.
and I kind of twirl it in my hands and start carving into the window pane. And I turn my glove into a suction cup and
Oh,
stick it and just
God.
like carve a circle
In
out.
another
and,
life,
like,
you would have been the best jewel thief
Maybe.
this side of Saturnine.
So I go into the room.
Okay.
I sneak my way in there.
I already gave you a jam shift, didn't I?
Oh, what?
Today,
Yes.
just a despair.
Yeah, I got a despair.
Okay. I'm going to give a joy to Calvin here.
Yes.
Someone, so basically, I assume you like made that happen, looked very proud of yourself, and then had the good sense or had been instructed to scutter into an alley or something.
I think Calvin did it, and like the first one fell, and he heard rain, and like yes, it worked, and then more started following, and then he's like really, oh no, I gotta go, I gotta not be here.
Do like Scooby-Doo run in
Yeah.
place and then take off?
There's so you take off, but there's someone who saw you do that, and they're very impressed. It's Abigail Arseneau. She's an apostate. You can tell because she just like looks a little more out there, and she doesn't carry. She has
More out there?
more out there.
More
She
out
eschews order, and so she has this Virtula Kada instead of the Testament of Sons. So all of you have one of these. She has this Virtula Kada, which is basically the Visley words for your character sentence without the word for order, because they don't have one. And so she's got that sort of very proudly displayed as like a little pin on her shirt. She's got all sorts of flowers in her hair, and she has a business card, and she comes up to Calvin and is like, that was some excellent work. I can see your weaving would be of great use to us apostates as well. You should really think about your creativity suggests that I could use you in ways that the weavers don't usually know how. So do stop by sometime. I sell flowers and poultices, and also home insurance in case you needed any. Abigail's ailments and assurances, which is what that is. So that is from Kid with That Face. Cool. I really like that. But basically, you just get acknowledged that you're kind of a cool spellcaster now, Calvin. Good job. So you get up there.
Congratulations.
You had gotten up there at the window.
Immediately, the card turns into a bird. Shit.
You're trying to catch it. All right, so you come upon this room. What would this room look like? Tell me more about Hart Manor.
Oh, Hart Manor.
And like this probably isn't. I don't know. Do they keep a lot? Since it is a really big place, do they keep this room for when your aunt Ducky might want to come back?
Yeah.
Or, okay, cool.
Hart Manor is like I had as a kid this the only like playhouse that I had was a book, and you open it and like tie it together, and all of the
Ooh.
pages were the rooms
Cool.
of the house, and it would stand up like that. So I think that it's kind of like that on the inside, where like rooms you walk into and can flip the pages to get
Delightful.
it to
To
set.
a different one. Yeah.
So there are lots and lots of potential rooms
Yes.
because there are lots of members of this family.
Huge. Yeah.
And all of them are very individualized to the person who happened to be there. But everybody's style is ostentatious. I will say that.
Cool.
And it kind of has like almost everybody has a somewhat porcelain quality to their stuff, to the like wallpapers, etc.
Ooh, yeah. Delightful. So is there like a big 4-poster bed sort
Yes,
of thing?
obviously.
And
It's French Rococo.
oh, delightful. And there's sort of a closet that still has a door, or sort of a wardrobe that has a door hanging open. It's got some of the interesting styles that you saw before for Ducky. And I drew a card. It's Hidden Moon, and it's actually for secrets. So this seems to be. I feel like Hidden Moon suggests to me that things are going. The magic flow suggests that things are going pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Hidden Moon.
yeah, you find yourself in the correct room. I imagine that the manor has a little bit of intelligence about it and tries to get you to the right place, especially with visitors.
Sure.
But whatever, usually I feel like Heart Manor's assets are really in its magic casters, unless that there's maybe wardings. But why don't you make me a quick roll to see if there is any. I feel like a person like you would suspect there's protections.
Okay.
So why don't we see what you find?
Can I use a bene?
Yeah.
Maybe a perception bene?
Yeah, that sounds great. And you can use sortilege if you'd like as well.
I'm gonna wing it. An 8.
An 8, and you're good at searching.
I am good at searching.
So you know that this place it used to have wards on it, and they're gone now. There was sort of a basic ward, and you can feel that residue. And just as you're reaching out with your magic, the coast is clear, which is almost a little suspicious for you, but everything's suspicious to you, Wayne, so
Yes.
I'm not sure what to say of that. But you get into the room, it's this French Rococo style. There's a little side table with a beautiful etheric lamp, so it's giving off this kind of ghostly energy, and it's very gorgeous. And there's a tiny little cat statuette, kind of sphinx-like, with a little cute necklace, and you see the one that you think Kitty had described.
Okay. I just palm it. Like I just take the whole
Okay.
statue.
Awesome. And then are you going to come back out the window?
Yeah, straight back out the way I came. No
All
like
right.
dilly-dallying.
It seems like when you look out the window, you see that some of the people who had run out and were holding blankets over stuff, they're actually on this side of the building now too. They're sort of all covering the roses, worried about this rainstorm.
Okay.
What are you going to do? Are you going to try to be sneaky? Or?
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to, with as much force as I can, I'm gonna shatter the window completely out, and I'm gonna use the flock scatters at the sound of teeth.
Oh my
Terrifying
god!
incantation.
So just at the same
Wow.
time, everyone is gonna like be like putting
This is
blankets up and
amazing.
everything, and as they hear the sound of glass like shattering and like racing out towards this window at them, they're also going to hear the sound of this horrific like howling monstrosity,
Yep.
as if it's pouring out from the house itself towards them,
Delightful.
and in sheer terror. Amidst the sounds of rain, 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 they just scatter like mice into like as far away as possible.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. This is a high enough level spell. I do not require a roll. It just is terrifying to everybody, even the butler, even little Joe.
So then I get back on the top of the ladder rung and collapse it back down into a cube.
Yep.
Well, I used it up anyway.
Yeah.
Right, it's gone. And I'm just gonna casually, hands in pockets, like casually walk
Stroll
out the
out.
door.
With your-
Actually, I am going to pretend to also be terrified of the sounds and
That's
run
smart.
screaming into the street.
You start to look casual, and then you're like, oh yeah. And
It's
then you-
right behind me! Oh my god! I'm like holding my side, like, oh god!
Oh, God,
Just
that's
running into the
terrifying.
street.
Excellent. So you run out. You all rendezvous at the cafe, I assume. The deed is done. You have the statuette.
Clunk. I put it on the table in front of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I broke your windows. I'm sorry.
They're not mine
Yet.
yet.
That storm's gonna last a while, I think.
Can't you? You know what? Just leave it alone.
The roses really don't like that much noise, though. That's the thing. I should have. It's my fault, really. I should have given you more instruction.
But I did impress a woman named Abigail. She liked the storm very much, and she offered me a job with the apothecary, the apostates.
The apothecary.
The apostate.
Oh, the apostates. Oh.
Oh.
They don't really
Okay.
have an organization, so you know it that she was probably an apostate who thought that she and her friends could make use of you.
Oh, well,
Um.
the apostates, not so much thing.
Oh,
Apostates thing.
well, she gave me a business card, but it did turn into a bird.
We've got to teach you some other magic.
It's probably for the best.
Excellent. Are you going to smash open that brooch here, or are you going to wait until you're home?
Apostate's not the best thing.
There's nothing wrong with apostates.
Not a lot right with it.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, they
That
don't.
could be said about so many things, you guys.
Organization of a. Why don't you just talk with her and see what she wants?
Sure, great.
Tink.
Shatters.
No.
Or if you do it really delicately, I think.
No,
you
no,
get
it can
to-
just kapoof.
Yep. And what does this brooch look like? What would be
Oh, yeah.
cool for her fashion, right?
So, she was wearing bright yellow, so this thing is like pink.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That will go really well with your whole look.
I don't wear that. I don't wear pink. It's like bright pink and then it's pastel pink. It's like no, James, it's worse. It's
Barbie pink?
It's a flamingo.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a crystal flamingo that's different pinks.
Wow, that is a loud brooch.
This is an unfortunate brooch.
But
Do you
when
have to wear it?
But when you touch it, you know that it's suffused with some really protective
It's
magic.
very real, though. That's the thing about this brooch that I have to wear.
You can wear it under something, maybe.
Yeah,
It looks nice.
Do you want me to
It's interesting.
paint it?
yeah. This brooch is fine.
If
This
you
is
want,
a nice gift.
Oh yeah.
if you want, I could
you
enamel
do have a
it.
maker.
Could you?
Yeah, I could make it look
God,
different
Wayne,
than that.
You're the best. Thank you so much.
I really
Thank you.
don't
Thank
want you
you.
to wear it.
Thank you
That.
so much. Thank you so much. I don't want to wear this.
Yeah, I don't
Thank
want you to.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Just like
I put it in a
anything
pocket.
vaguely card themed. Vaguely card themed.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
All right. There's lots that will come from this, but I think we'll end the session here as you all catch your breath after having not gotten caught out by Heart Manor. So we talk about our character summaries at the end.
Okay.
So this is a chance for you to talk about like how you think your character felt about stuff that happened today. And so it's a chance for me to award joy or despair.
Oh, cool.
And you can tell me whether you feel like you went further in your character arcs. So yours was to solve a mystery. Yours was to make a terrible enemy, which you kind of started on last time. And yours is to, repay a debt or settle a debt.
Yeah.
Cool. So who's ready to start? Who wants to talk about what their character felt like today?
So I think Calvin has like probably the most surface level thoughts about this stuff. He's still very overwhelmed by this world that he's entered, and he was grateful for like the opportunity to like start investing himself in it and learning more about it. But I don't think that Calvin took significant steps towards making his big enemy. And it's also become very clear to me that Calvin doesn't take this world seriously enough. He's treating it
yeah.
like he is in a dream.
Or like at Hogwarts.
Yeah, exactly.
He really is, yeah.
So he's really enjoying the ride yet, and none of the danger, the very real danger that we were
Yeah.
in, sort of got through to him yet.
Cool.
Also, he thinks people are a little brusque and rude here.
Yeah, that's
He's
kind of
gonna
hard.
put that out there. There are so many people who would comment on people's physical forms, just like openly, and just say like, "You got a bad physical form."
How does he feel about that? That like people are kind of brusque to him. Do you feel like is Calvin interested in like gaining more respect, or does that galvanize his like, I don't want to be like you jerks?
Yeah, I don't think he like has bought into any of the society stuff.
Okay,
like that
cool.
that is apparently like not a factor to him. He is interested in learning about
Yeah.
things and more about how things work, and specifically how the magic powers
Yeah.
that he has now work.
Cool. I am going to award another joy. So you had gotten a joy
I got a
earlier.
joy earlier. Yeah.
I'm going to award you another one because I think we really got to see Calvin like pull off some pretty cool magic, and I think that's a pretty big step in his interest in like, potentially walking the path of sun someday. Being interested about this world, being able to have some semblance of control over it, I think is a good thing.
Yeah, he just wants to take this thing as far
I
as
am
it can
going
go.
to award you one acumen. So write that down because I think you did actually move just a tiny bit along your make a powerful enemy because we revealed that you have a lease that's a very badly written contract. And your friends think that's a bad idea.
think
and
it's
so
very bad.
I actually think that's a little bit of foreshadowing that maybe something's going to be done with that. Like, are you guys going to let
That's
him
fair.
sleep there?
No,
I wouldn't
you're
let him
staying at
sleep
my
there.
house.
No, you can't go back.
You're never going back to that house again.
So,
But I do live there.
You don't.
Not.
but for some reason, Daniel McPherson wanted you to live there. So the fact that you're, anyway, I think this foreshadows that there might be some
I
complications.
feel like he worked very hard to make me feel welcome, and everybody's making a mountain out of a molehill.
He's got a bunch of
Keeping several-
immobile.
Yeah, demons and several angels.
But I don't know that.
You don't
Sure.
know
I
that.
don't know that.
True. Okay, who's ready to talk about their character next?
Would you like it or shall I?
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is not really a good
That's
answer.
not
That's
answer.
such a bad answer. You guys.
Go ahead.
Okay. Business as usual, really.
Uh-huh.
Over for Kitty.
Jeez.
I guess what happened today. Well, hey, a really great thing happened. She hasn't seen Wayne in a long time.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
Because actually, Wayne. Because they're blood brothers,
Yeah.
effectively. So she thinks of Wayne as unequivocally in her camp.
Cool.
So that's like a good thing. So that was nice. And then the rest of the day, pretty much business as usual. And the whole kerfuffle in the library, I think, really got to her.
Yeah.
Because I think part of what was going on there is like the realization that this library probably contains all of the information that she wants.
A ton of it.
You're right. So somewhere in there is definitely the name of the demon that originally took her half of her heart.
Almost certainly. Yep.
But she doesn't have enough of the information to even begin looking for that. There's
Right.
just like, and if she were to try to summon a demon to even talk about it, like she doesn't know how large of an ask that is. So
Yeah.
it's just like an overwhelming thought process that led to some pretty bad mishaps.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
Yeah. Feeling a little down, maybe? Or?
Feeling a little down, but that's not all that unusual.
Aw.
That's the beginning and end of every day, really. Otherwise, I think she's feeling okay about the trajectory with getting her family issues resolved.
Right. So I think you definitely earned some acumen getting closer to your goals of sort of settling this debt, getting back into the family manor, that sort of group of goals. You learned, you definitely have this little orb full of information somehow about whatever your aunt could get about OG Kitty Hart. You have the protective brooch, which is helpful. And yeah, you have access to a lot more information, and you think that getting to the blue will get you, like, whatever surface level information you have from this little sphere. The real powerful stuff, like true names, real sources of power, and maybe the history of OG Kitty and like what she's been up to, that you think is pretty findable in the blue.
Yeah.
So that's pretty promising. So I'm going to award you, let's see, 2 acumen for that.
Cool, thank you.
And I'm debating whether there was some ups and downs for Kitty Heart today.
It was a real up and down day. Hard to say whether joy or despair won out for her. I think she's also feeling a bit complicated, like not at the moment, but she will when she gets back home and starts thinking through things about the whole having a friend back in her life, because she's so used to being alone and not feeling indebted to people. And Wayne is someone who has needs that she will try to help with, which is like,
well, and also you know Calvin, and not only that, you know that you've screwed over Calvin.
Yeah, that's going to come back to bite her eventually. But again, that's business as usual, you know? So Calvin is in a thing of like, he's just impending, he's a sword waiting to fall, which is like, that's
Kitty's whole life.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Whereas Wayne, on the other hand, is like an obligation, which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Weird day.
Yeah. Did I award you despair or joy earlier?
Despair.
Okay. I feel like as much as you feel really conflicted, some good things came out of today.
It was a good day.
Especially the Wayne. So I think I am going to award you a joy for like the potential that Wayne brings, right? That like you're able to maybe solve problems with more people and with help.
I
right?
think it is objectively a good thing.
Yeah.
Even if she feels weird about it.
I agree.
He's fixing her brooch.
Cool. Yes.
That's true.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really what
I'm
the
gonna make it
joy is
look
about.
so cool.
Yeah.
All right, Wayne, talk to us. How do you feel about today?
So I think, again, ups and downs as for everyone.
Yeah.
I think that Wayne is now entertaining a new idea about his mystery that he had never considered before, which that it's not even his mystery. Which is like, I think it would be so utterly devastating that he's just in complete denial.
Ooh, yeah.
Like,
he can't let it pass over him.
Nope, it's a total coincidence. That's all. I'm not in a weird turn of events for him. I think I'm not even going to push on or investigate Victoria.
Wow.
Whoa.
And like try to figure out who she is or if she's related to him in any way. Because the
you sort
fear
of like push her away in your murder board.
I was like, well, we have a weird, similar, or personal arc.
How
weird.
curious.
How weird. All right. Well, better get to the blue sun.
Dang.
Like, not even gonna look into it at all.
Wayne.
Because
How?
I think the fear there's this paralyzing fear of like, nope, I'm just like that. This her, and it has nothing. Like, you know what I mean? So.
You are already shook up enough about your identity and what you don't know about yourself. The fact that
I can't lose what I already have, and that the idea that like my mystery or like this missing person isn't a thing at all.
Yeah.
Like if that's even a possibility, I have to ignore it.
Yeah.
Like I just have to ignore it.
Cool.
So I'm ignoring it, and I'm also I think in a sort of lightly irritated that it feels like this isn't going as quickly as I want it to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where I'm like I paid a price in blood. And I went to the library, and I'm like, how many more hoops do I have to jump through just to go to a place that I'm not even sure is going to have all the answers for me? So I think that's a source of consternation. But on the other side of the coin, it's been a really long time since I've done this with anybody.
Yeah.
And how much easier, in a lot of ways, it feels to like have someone there, or like to be able to be like, I have to go get this thing, and my buddy's gonna help me by like making a rainstorm. Feels so like different and good. In a way that normally I'd be responsible for all the moving parts all by myself all the time. So I think overall I would consider it like a pretty joyful day.
Yeah. I was really, you guys had a really up and down day, but I think again, based on you guys coming together and how helpful that's going to be and how meshed together your efforts have been, I will award you a joy. And I think I'm going to award you 3 acumen, because I think you know,
wow.
Yeah, you had
this
a
was
lot
kind of
of-
your
Yeah, you had a lot of progress.
So write that down. And and then I'm going to award 3 acumen for everybody
Oh.
because I think you learned a ton about. You did a really great job infiltrating the left-handed gods, like super secret library. Like it was just you really brought a lot of great guns to bear with your
Wicked
subterfuge and your. You had a really nice use of magic. Is that you were the one who? It was the Wicked Key.
That was the
got
Wicked Key that got the.
Absolutely. So even though it was up and down, you learned a lot of cool stuff. That might be a place you want to return to, and you kind of know vaguely how that's done now. And also, I gave you one. One of those was for the manor because I think it was a quick trip. It was dangerous. If stuff had gone wrong, that would have been really bad. And with the 2 of you working on it, it actually came together pretty well. So thank you, everybody. I think we will wrap up here, and we will tune in next week for.
I want to point out that we are going to be tuning in next week on the 17th.
There we go.
Same time slot. And then coming up the week after that, we're going to be doing a different night. Did we agree Tuesday for that one?
We should talk.
Yeah, we should talk. Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone.
It was really fun playing with you. Thanks.